I'm 15, 18 minutes late. What's up, y'all? Come on in here. Y'all come on in here, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna get another one. Yeah. Turn that fan on. You know the Hebrews would say Israel, not in Africa.
But now they say it's North Africa though.
I'm like, man, this generation is so boy. I say, man, we got so much information, y'all. I'm telling you, it's like too much money. It drives somebody crazy. We're dealing with a generation that got too much. It's driving us crazy. You know, you can ask Siri whatever you want. You know, now they came out with AI. You can ask AI whatever you want. The oxtails are good. Oh nah, they wasn't better than the ones we went. You should have met us at that at where you told us to go. Yeah, we actually went and got some. Yeah, shit, that was I ain't lying. Bring you up, damn, you demanding, bro. You know, I think if you come in the box, I'll let you up.
Peace.
What's up, brother man? What's going on? Let me get my brothers up here first, and then I'll let you up. Somebody want to come up already?
Girls, it's time to be quiet, okay?
Okay, we got two guests want to come up, y'all. Y'all ready for the action?
We ready?
You gotta change it up. I put it in the group. The background.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
My bad.
I put it in the group. So we're gonna get into some hot information, y'all. Hopefully we get some brothers and sisters that come up with a decent message. We got two guests waiting to come up. Y'all give us a second. I'm trying to get my brothers in here, and then we'll get the guests in. It's a lot of like I say, man, we're dealing with a generation with a lot of money. And you know, too much money drives a person crazy, and the money I'm talking about is information. This generation has so much information. It's just like when you got too much money, you don't know what to do. You done bought too many cars, you done bought too many shoes, you know, you done bought too much of everything. So when it's time to put something on and wear it, you don't know what to put on. You know, so now you're dealing with a generation that has so much information, they don't know what information to really take in. So now they take in what feel good. And one thing about the truth, we know the truth what? Hurts. Because if you're working out and it ain't hurting, then what? You ain't really working out. So what's up, brother? You ain't really working out if it ain't hurting. You know, so that's why I say it's itchy ears. And people was going to heed themselves to things that sound good. You know, and they was going to turn their ears away from the truth. Now, why would you turn your ears away from the truth and heed to the lie? The lie must feel good. It must feel good. You know, I don't know why I got that. Oh, well. But like I say, y'all, I got my brothers here, so I'm gonna let the guests up. I don't know where the sister went, but you're welcome to come back up if you would like.
You got it kind of like a little echo, King.
I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, you gotta mute up, refresh your phone, and come back because you do got a little echo. It's not a bad echo; it's a small echo. I'll mute up.
What you talking about? I need to mute mine?
No, I'm a part of a podcast. Usually when we have echoes, we mute our page and we just refresh it, and that takes away the echo.
Okay. Maybe start over, huh? You kicked everybody out? Uh-oh. Oh, everybody here. 64. I don't know if I might have kicked everybody back out. Y'all come back up. I try to do what the brother man said. I don't know if he kicked everybody out. It should be better now, huh? That's better. Still got echo.
Yeah, I don't think that's your echo. I think it's somebody else's.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was your boy Stamps Judah. That was him. He was echoing.
Well, what you got for us today, brother?
Oh, okay, under you be peace. I say shalom to you. Unto you be peace.
Oh, peace. What's going on?
No, I got a question. So the rumor is that you said that only Christ is supposed to teach the Bible. I got my pen and a piece of paper out. I'm ready to take notes. Where is that book, chapter, verse where it says only Christ is supposed to teach the Bible?
Well, who comes in the volume of the book?
No, hold on. That's just book, chapter, verse, sir.
Well, can we get the verse where it says I come in the volume of the book?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm finna get book chapter verse. You say you want book chapter verse? It's crazy how we change the title. This is the first question we get. The title that we have there for about 60 things, and we couldn't get somebody to come up and ask us this question the whole time the title was up. As soon as we take it down, this is the question we get at.
That's Hebrews 10 and 7.
Okay, hold on. So Hebrews 10.
Hey, Stamp,
Chapter 7.
I don't know why.
Finna drop and come back.
All right.
Say Hebrews 10 and 7.
Yeah, so Hebrews 10 and 7 clearly state that only Christ is supposed to teach the Bible.
Well,
It's gonna say what it say. We're gonna read it for you. So Hebrews 10 and 7 reads, Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me, to do thy will, O God.
so I'm asking you again, who come in the volume of the book?
Okay, question. Okay, I'm a book, chapter, verse Israelite. The book is about him from the beginning to the end. From Genesis, hold on. You asked me a question. Let me answer it. From Genesis to Revelation, the book is about him, right? But he never said he was the only person that was allowed to teach the Bible.
You got a lot of background noise, bro.
All right, hold on.
I don't even know how you talking.
You got bigger fish to fry.
The Bible is not written of people who gonna pick it up and teach it. The Bible is written about somebody doing the will. Moses wrote about Christ. Isaiah prophesies about Christ. Jeremiah prophesies about Christ. They didn't prophesize about men picking it up and reading and teaching it. That's what the devil is doing. That's why the devil is not doing the will of the Father. The devil is doing the will that it came to steal.
No, he actually blessed the disciples to teach the Bible. That's why, and the book, chapter, verse that you gave me did not say that only Christ was the only person allowed to teach the Bible.
Hey, Ben, said, now who blessed the disciples? Was it Christ or was it the book?
Christ blessed his disciples, and the
Okay,
Ruach
okay, all
HaKodesh
right,
was
all
given
right,
to
all right.
them.
So
No,
follow
hold
me
on,
like this.
No.
Man,
Let's
just chill out. I'm
bro,
making a
yo,
point.
Aki, yo,
Hey,
Aki,
family,
no,
family,
Aki.
hey, family. We got a panel. We run our panel a certain kind of way. We can have dialogue, but you can't step up and try to run our panel, bro. Just have a conversation with us.
I'm not trying to control the dialogue, right?
Yes, you
I
are.
actually,
You're not letting me make my point.
I couldn't. Okay, my bad. I couldn't wait to talk to you. I'm a little excited to talk to you, so I'm a hold my zeal and let you answer the point. Go ahead, Ak. My bad.
Okay, I appreciate it. So all the point I was making, if Christ blessed the disciples, then the book can't give you the blessing. So we're dealing with a generation that's receiving the blessing from the book. The blessing has to come from. That's why communion. You got to eat Christ's flesh and drink Christ's blood. If you have it, you don't have it. So we have to stop being a liar, because if you ain't ate from the flesh of Christ, you do not have it. And that's all we saying.
Okay, but what I'm saying is this though. Hamashiach blessed his disciples and told them to go spread the word. Then the Ruach HaKodesh empowered the disciples to do that. So, in other words, that they are allowed and authorized to teach the Bible. So that's my first question. And my second question is, this is like hearsay. I don't know if I've never actually heard you say it before, but the hearsay is that you say that you're the Messiah. Is that something that you've actually said before? Because I don't go out for hearsay. I'd like to speak to you myself.
Correct, brother. That's true.
And so does he understand, King, that you're not saying that the disciples can't spread the message? You understand that? Do you understand that, brother? That's not what we're saying. We're not saying that the disciples can't spread the message, but the message comes from one. It's not many different messages from whoever picks up the Bible. So that means that there's one interpretation. There's one message, one interpretation, which is why it's written that there is no private interpretation. So what we're relaying is that the right interpretation only comes from the Messiah. But everyone has their own interpretation. So that's why it's written. Oh, real quick. That's why it's written that
go ahead.
There's one teacher, one master, even Christ. So unless the interpretation of what's written in prophecy is coming from Christ, then it's not to be accepted. So that's what we mean when we say
I agree with
Christ
you
can
because
teach the Bible.
the camp doctrine is way off.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a camp Israelite. I don't follow
Neither are
camp
we.
doctrine. No, I know I agree with you on that. And Christ is the author of the Bible. The entire Bible is about him and us and doing the Father's will. So I agree with you on that. But I also agree when you broke down, I forgot what brother it was on your panel, and peace be unto the brother. When he read to me Hebrews chapter 10, verse 7, that was him teaching me information that I might not have known. He is allowed to do that in the name of Hamashiach. He's allowed to teach me. Am I wrong on that?
Well, I'm allowed to share with you because my information is coming directly from Christ. So really, the difference is you haven't accepted Yahweh Judah as Christ, and I have. So when I say these things, it's not really registering with you that that's what's happening the same way that it happened in the Scripture when Christ in the Scripture sent out the disciples. They didn't go out with their own information. They went out with the interpretation that they had of the Scripture from Christ. Christ sent them out.
So I have a question. Are you saying that he is the Hamashiach or is he a Mashiach? Because the actual definition of that word means savior. Like if you're saying that he is the son of Yahuwah in the Bible, that is false. But he could be a savior of today.
What I'm telling you is what we stand on is that he is the Word made flesh.
Okay,
And you don't-
Yahweh Judah.
And you can't.
Hold on,
Yes.
Aki, 1 second. Yahweh Judah, can I ask you a question? if you don't mind, because I've been respectful. Tell me I haven't. I've been respectful.
Go ahead. Yeah, bro. Hey, I done spoken to you before, though, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you again. Since you're the Messiah, what is my government name? Where was I born, and what is my minor
Bro,
ailment?
don't come on here with that stuff, man.
No. I've been respectful.
Hey, depart. It's cool. Depart from me. I never knew you. So
Okay,
even the scriptures that you know, Christ ain't gonna know people.
Okay, no, that was just a basic question because I think you dope. And I couldn't wait to meet you, and I came respectful, like I always come. I never come disrespectful. Do I? Every time we talk, it's always
And
respectful.
look, I'm never disrespectful. I'm never disrespectful.
You just told me to depart from you, and I
That's
asked you
not
a basic
disrespectful.
question.
Hey, if I come in the name of the Father, God is no respecter of who.
So,
No, just answer the
okay,
question. God,
so
no.
it's actually no, it's confirmed that you do think that you're the Messiah. Okay,
No, I understand. I want to make sure you understand. God is no respecter of who.
you tell me.
You say you love books, book, chapter, verse, so no respecter of person.
I have a question. Since can can you heal my minor ailment?
You are unbelief. You are under now.
I'm asking you, can you do it?
You're in the now. Nothing can be done for you when you're in the now.
Okay. Thank you for talking to me, brother. And I will gladly come up again and spar with you again. This was a dope conversation. Unto you be peace, and unto you be peace to your panel. Thank you for having me.
All right, peace.
But I just wanted to read a verse real quick, just to basically show how Christ will send out his angels in the last days, because Christ taught the angels. The disciples that walk with Christ, they got their information from Christ. So those people will be able to give an understanding because they get their understanding from the vessel that you're supposed to go to. It's one mediator between man and God, right? So I'm going to read John 14:26. But when the Father, no, let me get the King James. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things. So this person that's going to be teaching us in the last days will be Christ. And we got to go through Christ to have that understanding of God. Since nobody knows the Son but the Father, and nobody knows the Father but the Son, you know, God never changed. It's an order when it comes to God. First, God, which is spirit. That spirit enters the vessel. That vessel speaks to the people. The words that come out of Christ's mouth are spirit. So to have that understanding, to receive that spirit, you must hearken to the voice of Christ.
What about what we talked about?
Yeah, man, that was a little weird interaction, y'all. And that's like I say, people don't understand that when people say the disciples got it from Christ, that's what we saying. And that's why people don't understand the foreshadow of the writings. We are the reflection of the shadow. We not the shadow. The Bible is the shadow. So the Bible is not the real thing. We are the real thing. So when you read these things, you're supposed to be foreshadowing of these things going to be happening in your time. So you're reading a book where the disciples got it from Christ. That's the basic instructions. You're supposed to get it from Christ. You're not supposed to lean to your own thoughts. That's the Bible say don't do that. But what do? We don't follow the instructions and we go right in the book and lean to our own thoughts. The Bible say, wait upon the Lord. The battle is not yours. But we going out and trying to fight lies. That battle ain't for you. Because those who wait, they're going to receive strength to defeat the lies. See, a lot of people not defeating the lies. They spread more lies. They're not defeating the lies. You know, so again, our standpoint is what people is reading, the basic instructions. The disciples got it from Christ. The disciples didn't pick up a book, study it, get on their knees, pray to God, and then go out and teach. They didn't go to colleges. They didn't go to universities. They ate from the flesh and they drank his blood and went out and spread the message. That's the basic instructions. We find that so hard because why? We so in the wrong. We so wrong. You know what that one say? If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. That's how y'all is with Babylon. Y'all love Babylon so much you don't even want to be right. You know, so like I say, y'all, we just gotta, we gotta hear what we be saying. We just trying to hear what we saying. But it's crazy how the first question we get after we take the title down. That's I don't know if they're by design or what.
Y'all, since we gotta hear what we saying, these people been calling us African Americans for the longest. When is we gonna realize that our people descendants from Africa? We are descendants from Africa. Like, they not just calling us African Americans for no reason. So I honestly want to know how y'all feel about this title. African Americans are connected to Africa. Now we know this the motherland. Africa got all the real resources. America ain't got nothing. You know, in the last days, Christ was gonna come lead us out of Egypt. Right now, America would be that land of bondage. We see our people suffering. We going through it. So Christ would come from amongst the people to lead us out of the place where we are being held captive, to take us back to our natural state or our homeland. You know, and they do talk about a great exodus. I wonder what that's gonna look like. So it's just something to think about. But y'all come up though. Y'all come tell us how y'all feel about this title.
Yeah, come on up here. We got some stuff to talk about, y'all. We got some things to talk about. You know, it's a lot of colonizers on TikTok right now that's just calling us, putting us deeper and deeper into colonization. Which is information. Information is the first form of colonization. Like, colonization is just not taking something from someone. It's really about giving them information so you can take it away from them. They always say they came and gave us the Bible and then took the land. Well, I told you, colonization starts with information first. So like I say, y'all, we just here to talk about these things, y'all, that's gonna help us stand up in this time of need. It's a very, very needy situation that we take stand right now. It's one of the most important things, and not just take stand in anger, not to take stand in emotions, but to take stand in righteousness and unification. Now, to be on the right side of things, you're going to have to get a little understanding. You just can't be out here not understanding and just talking about calling yourself righteous. Because when you take stand from something, you want to know the whole story. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are emotional driven about our situation. And sometimes, you look at, other people and they be so paused. They just so calm. You see what I'm saying? Why are we so emotional? Because so much has been left. It's like a traumatized child. Sometimes kids feel like, they feel like, you say adopt a child for a reason. They know the adopted people are not their real parents because they're growing up and they really find out, but the adopted parents never told them. So that child has a lot of emotions built up in that vessel because what? It don't know the whole story about where the hell they come from. So when you talk about why are we so emotional driven when it comes to standing up for our situation, because we don't know the whole story. When you really find out the whole story, man, I'm telling you, like old man in a rocking chair. But a lot of us don't know our story and we so emotional driven. It's like a traumatized child, not knowing this whole story. And when he find out, he enraged. Or when she find out, she enraged. Instead of knowing how to challenge those emotions and turn them into power where you take a stand. You become, basically you just take a stand. You use that power to challenge it again, stand up and fight the good fight. Use that power, use that energy to not get weary. Use the energy to stand strong, like I say, y'all, and fight the good fight. So we're looking for anybody who want to come up and deal with this title. You know, now we can talk about anything, but I think this title is important for this generation because we're dealing with a generation of people who hate Africa. I thought I'd never see that day. You know. But the mic open, brothers.
It's actually kind of wild that you would have to use this title for black people, because not even too long ago, you know, and even in the hip hop community, which is one of the biggest genres of music, it was walking around with the dashikis and the Africa medallions and the kufis, and you know what I'm saying, it was a desire to be connected to Africa. So I'm not really sure if it changed because of the music, like when the music changed, the mentality behind it changed, or what changed it. But even nowadays, you know, where you have black people to the point where they hate Africa, you know, where they'll try to connect themselves to their Native American roots, not even just connect to it, just to say, okay, we've been here for, you know, how long do you have to be in a place to be from that place? Because that's, you know, me coming out of more science, that was the thing that attracted me to that. Like, okay, I know I'm not just what these people calling me. I'm not just black, because I know that's a status in law. You know what I'm saying? I know it doesn't have anything to do with my ethnicity or my nationality, you know, so I wanted to know the truth. But even in that journey, I understood that even if we are from America because we've been here for 400, 500 years, our ancestors still had some attachment to the motherland. Like the fact that they, you know, these particular groups actually hate Africa. You'll see Africans arguing with black people in America that's saying we don't have no connection to Africa at all. That's bizarre on a whole nother level.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I thought I'd never see that day. Yeah. I thought I would never see that day. And that's why I was speaking on in the beginning, like, you know, this is a generation that has so much information that they're, like I said, they create different levels of the lie. And that goes about that tower reaching heaven. Because everybody just building off the Tower of Babel. We're not building off the foundation of the cornerstone, because shit, where the cornerstone at? Where the cornerstone at? It damn sure ain't built Babylon. So when everybody is speaking, this information that they are getting is off the foundation of Babel. And that's why now we hate Africa, because it's another layer of the lie that's keeping us even blinded. Like you said, back, you know, just in y'all generation, which is nothing but 10 years before my generation, you know, was wearing dashikis and praising Africa.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? To now, you got a generation they got middle fingers to Africa.
Hey, you know what's funny too? Like, a lot of these cats don't even know about the early hip hop generation, but they want to argue about what happened 2,000 years ago. How you don't even know nothing about the black people that was rapping in the 80s? I can mention King's Son, or, you know what I'm saying, some of the rappers, you'd be like, who? You old as hell. But I'm gonna argue with you about 2,000 years ago.
You know every detail and everything.
Everything. You know what Jesus said, who he said it to, how he said it, but you can't even quote Chill Rob G from 85.
No.
Crazy.
Crazy. This is that generation, y'all. We got too much money. We done bought so much with this information, we don't know what to put on no more, y'all. We don't know what to put on. You know, and it just, you know, it goes to show you how we are being flooded. You know, that great flood is upon us. And that Ark of the Covenant is coming to pick the people up out of that great flood. The fishermen of men. It's the whole thing about we being made fishermen. Because what is this great flood that we in? Information.
Yeah.
So we really need that Ark of the Covenant more than ever right now. You see what I'm saying? So even when you talk about the biblical parables, y'all, like how the principal matter of the story is so significant for our time. You see what I'm saying? Because you're dealing with the world on all one accord with this so-called information that we just try to stand on. And we know it ain't true. That's why there's so many different avenues to it. Hey man, I'm gonna leave Christianity, I'm gonna be a Muslim. You know, I'm gonna leave the Muslim, I'm gonna go be a Jehovah's Witness. You know, I'm gonna leave all that, I'm gonna go be a Hebrew Israelite because this is the real set.
Right.
That's showing you that it's the devil got many names, the lie got many stories. The truth always remains the same.
You know, you're the first person that really connected information to water for me. And what's so cool about it is the more we talk about it, the more little things, little clues come up. Like if somebody give you too much information, what they tell you, have your head swimming. But we never think about something like that. Like too much information, how you got my head swimming. Swimming is connected to water. So it would make sense that the information is water. Like it's all of the little clues that the more we deal with this, I think the more people are seeing it, but they still having a hard time accepting that they've been bamboozled. You know, and like you said, everybody is kind of bouncing from one thing to another, but not really. They finding pieces of the truth and then trying to put it together and create something they can stand on. When at the very fact that Christ is on the earth and bringing that Sabbath, you can stop running around. You can stop bouncing around to all these different ideas and just come to the altar, come to the living altar, meek, and accept this information and be freed up from all of that drama. You know, like that's if anything, I would want somebody to understand from, I guess, as a older, quote unquote, black man who has been through all those different houses of thought, all those different areas. And it started with my mom, you know, when she was on her journey to find God. We went 7-Day Adventists and we went to the White Baptist Church and we went to all these different places until she found somewhere where really it wasn't the information was better. She just liked the speaker better. So people not really landing on the best information. They landing on what they the most comfortable with. You know, but the one thing that you have to accept is the truth is not going to make you comfortable, but it will set you free.
I just want to point out that I mean, I know it's not understood, you know, throughout the world, but you know, this is the time, you know, to gather and receive the information and the insight and the knowledge of God, you know, and the revealing of God's Son in the earth. So just to point out that the return and the restoring of the African people is the beginning of the kingdom of heaven. It is the beginning. This is the this is the end, which is a new beginning. So the restoring of the African people, because the African people are connected to the prophecy. Everything has come from Africa, all right? Specifically the Horn of Africa, Ethiopia, you know, where the throne of David actually is, where the throne of David actually, you know, started. So all things connected back to where the Bible or the prophecy came from. This is what we're talking about. So if the Bible is connected to African people, then the restoring of the African people and being put back in position or being brought back to return unto where they've been taken and exiled from, that is the beginning, which is the end, a new beginning. Because once the priesthood and God's house is set back in order, then this is the opening of the gates for all people to come and know and worship God in spirit and truth. Because it's all behind the throne of David, which is the Son of God being risen up amongst the African people to restore the throne and to restore the peace and equity and all things that come of the kingdom of heaven for the African people, right? And through this, all nations will be blessed. That's why it's written that all nations will be blessed through Jacob. So once again, I just want to point out that the restoring and the return of the African people to their original heritage and their the throne and the house of God and all these. This is the beginning, which is the end of this world and the beginning of the new heaven and the new earth. All right, because once the righteous are back in position, once again, God's house will be a blessing for all nations to come and join themselves onto. So there's always got to be a hub for people to come and join themselves onto. So this is not just for African people, but for all people, all nations to attach themselves onto the house of God, which is the African people. So this is why, this title is up. African Americans are connected to Africa. And also this is the prophecy, because this is where, once again, this is where it came from. The oldest Bible has come from Ethiopia, all right, which is the Horn of Africa. This is where the throne of David is. This is where all these stories that you read about in the Bible have originated from. But the world has personalized and taken interest to these stories and made it seem like it was about, everyone in the whole world in a whole, when really, and put imagination in it and came up with all kind of things, when really these stories were just about an African people being returned to their heritage so that they can judge the world righteously or bring peace and order to the world righteously. But the book was passed out to everybody, and everybody took personal claim when these were only stories and prophecies about a day and time when a people will be returned to their land, be returned to their heritage, which is all from the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Really just that simple. And they have bamboozled the information. But we do have a guest that came in, Miranda, if I'm saying it right.
Miranda.
All right, greetings
Hi.
to you.
Blessings. Listen, I have a question. So y'all are following the Bible, correct?
Well, we're not really following the Bible. We're more fulfilling the Bible. We have understanding. That's why we don't follow the teachings of the world. So we have an understanding of the Bible. We have an understanding of the Quran. We have an understanding of the lost books. We have an understanding. All books are open right now. So I don't want to just think you went a narrow path of just following the Bible. We are actually fulfilling these things.
Okay. So here's my question. My question is that if we're spirits, do y'all believe that we're spirit beings?
I don't know, a lot of people have different definitions for spirit. Spirit is thought. So yes, but we all don't have the Holy Spirit, which is a set apart thought.
Okay.
What the Bible
So
talks about is the Holy Spirit. So if you want to say, of course, we all spiritual beings because we all have our own thoughts.
Okay. So you would say that this is just our conscious mind, right?
What's just our conscious mind?
Being a spirit is our conscious mind.
Well, nah, just your mind, because the spirit is invisible. So it's just
Okay. So
a thought. That's
okay. So let me ask you. So then, what does all of this that y'all are preaching about, Africa? What does that have to do with the teacup in China? I just don't understand it. What does that have to do with, our spirituality, like our spirit being? How does that connect?
Well, Africa is just the root of things. It's not like you don't have to go back to Africa to connect to the Holy Spirit. You don't have to go back to Africa to understand the truth. Africa is just where these things come from. The Bible, and a lot of other stuff that we deal with. So going back to Africa is just going back to the root of things and reestablishing things, which they even in the Bible talking about rebuild, reestablish.
But what is the root of it if we're spirit? If we're spirit beings, what is it that anything that goes on right here on earth have to do with anything with our spiritual our once we're gone? Like
Mostly what? Let's say we gotta fix the world while we live it. You got kids?
Yeah, I got kids.
Okay, so
I got grandkids too. But
okay, so now do you feel the world they living in right now is a good world that they living in?
no, I think that, we're living in, a world that is really jacked up. I
All
understand that.
right then. So
But
so
I
what we doing? We fixing the world that's jacked up. Now when we leave here, you got to deal with God and who created everything. But while we
so
here right now, God is giving us the ability and the energy to fix the problems that's at hand. So we are
so
not here
why
until we die. We fixing the problems at hand.
so it's for us to do that.
Yeah, yes, for us. It's not for all of us. Now, it's for certain people. Everybody is not
So
called, few or chosen.
okay, so are y'all not so the love only goes as far as us, people of color?
No, no, no.
Because this
We all.
gentleman saint was speaking as if, we're only supposed to be focusing on us. It's supposed to be just us. But God is love.
That's the way
Love
you
is
took
for
it.
everybody.
No, no, that's the way you was. That's the way you took it. Salvation is first for the Jews because we are the people that's cursed. We are the people that's put at the bottom. So it's like a hospital, right? Hospitals take the emergency first. So when it comes to fixing races, we are emergency. Now, at our fixing, we will heal all nations. Just like all nations get rich off us, all nations use us. It's the same way when we come up. All nations still gonna use us. It's just gonna be in the correct way. So it's not that we don't have a hate message. We have the truth message. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a hate message. We don't hate no races. We actually we have all races that's almost attached to this. We done had every kind of race that have came up and paid respects to what we do. So it's not just about black people, but at the same time, we do have an emergency that we have to fix first.
Okay, so are we fixing it? Okay, so what is it that you're saying that we need to fix with our people first?
Well, for one
Belief?
thing, no, we have no representative. Nobody's representing us. When it comes to politics, when it comes to the UN, when it comes all over, even our leaders are working for another nation. So we have to set up our leadership so we can control our resources, so we can control the things that's passed out to our people, so we can control our communities. We have no control of our communities. That's why in the Constitution we're not even considered what it is. We're not even considered a what? Yeah, human or something like so. These things we're not considered a human because we have to learn how to self-govern ourselves. So what we are bringing back was self-governing to our people and our nations.
And I have one tiny little part that might help you understand that it's through the African people that the world is going to be blessed, because the house of God is a house of prayer for all people, but there is a hub for all nations to attach themselves onto. And I just want to read this real quickly, so maybe it can kind of open up the idea to that. And this is Zechariah 8:23. It's written, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, and even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew." So the Jews, is really referring to the African people. We will go, it says, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that God is with you. So let us go with you because we have heard that God is with you. So, the truth basically opening up to that the house of God is on earth, and the house of God is really stemmed from, or the roots of the African people. And all nations are going to attach themselves politically, financially, spiritually onto the house of God. So that's the prophecy in the last days.
And then I want to add one more thing. And see, this is what Putin already have done. Putin say he stand with a black Messiah, but we don't understand why Putin made that move. But as my brother man just read the scripture, all nations gonna do this. All nations gonna attach themselves to us to receive the healing that we have through what God has given us. And this is how we bring forth Israel. So Putin is a great example of what all nations is about to do. Now the Messiah ain't coming from the sky. The Messiah is the same person the CIA been looking for. A black man is coming from among the people with the light of God. That's all the Messiah is. The CIA been looking for him for years.
So
You know,
are
and
you
all
saying?
nations gonna attach themselves, you know, to what he sets up.
Can I ask you a
So
question, sister?
mhm.
What do you when you hear about a black government and our people governing ourselves and having our own structure where our talents and our gifts, you know, our athletes winning gold medals for America in the Olympics, and you know, our artists being signed to under these current Jews that's got them putting out this kind of music where they can't really sing and do the things that they're inspired by, but they got to put out a certain kind of music that's deaf to our people, that they don't even play for their own people. You know, when you have our children being able to get a good education and figure out what their talents and gifts really are, as opposed to being subjected to the three, you know, basketball, comedy, and sports. Sports, the streets. Like, how do you feel about a black government when we actually taking control of our destiny and being able to the things that we able to generate, not just financially but spiritually, families? How does that feel to you to have something like that in real time in these days? Like, does the idea of that make you feel good, or does it make you feel bad?
No, I would love that. I would love that for everybody to be able to be free and to be able to do what they want to do. That's for everybody. That's not just for us, you know, just for us.
But
I believe
this
that
is
was the,
okay. I mean, but the reason I was asking you that is because our people make everybody else wealthy now. So what we talking about is already happening. It's just not benefiting us.
see, and I guess the difference is that so are y'all living just for the here now and not the after? Do y'all believe in, you know, reincarnation, like any of that?
No, well, the whole thing is we don't know what happens after we gone, but we do know what's
Hmm.
happening right now. So most other nations, they deal with the now to build a future for their children. So what we saying is we're trying to get our people to understand that Christ is attached to the liberation of our people so that we can govern ourselves, and the gifts that they already attaching to themselves to us to take now will be able to benefit us, and we'll be in control of how that's done. Because what he was trying to tell you earlier is in this country we consider minorities. A minority or a minor is a child. So our people, as a people, grown ass people with jobs and everything else, children of our own, we're viewed by the rest of the world as children who don't have the wherewithal to take care of our own affairs. So
Yeah.
when we talk about building a government, to answer your question, if we're going to build our government, it has to be a righteous government. And in order for it to be a righteous government, it's got to be on the foundation that was established by God, which is Christ. And all of us know that in the black community, everybody loves Jesus. We've been talking about Jesus, but we've been getting a watered down version of Jesus from the preacher who gets his authority from the Pope. And that's who we judging, because Christ is in the earth and he's helping us to establish a black kingdom that's going to actually benefit us and the rest of the world the way that it's been doing. But now it's going to be from a righteous standpoint. We'll be minors no more.
But how do you convince a nation, a world, excuse me, of it being us? It's us right now against them is how you're saying it. Okay.
No,
How?
that's how you perceiving it. It's not us against them. Right now, it's us against us. Our biggest battle is with our own people. It ain't
But
with. I just told you that Putin already told the whole Russian government, we stand with Black Christ.
okay, so that's Putin. So what about the rest of the however many other countries to get on board of saying that we are the superior?
So, and I don't want to, I don't want to hold them.
I want to add this. This is why we have the UCC1 document on our website. The nations, the same thing Putin came out and said, this is what's already on paper in black and white. All nations gonna do what Putin has done. They just ain't said it the way Putin is, but it's already on black and white. You see what I'm saying? So, that's why my brother man said this is an in-house fight. This is a Cain and Abel fight. This is a Esau and Jacob fight. So it's an in-house fight. So right now we are battling, getting our people in order to receive the blessings that God already have on the table for us. And this is why the scriptures say judgment starts with the house of God first. So nations are already on board. We not on board with it.
And see, one of the things too is that, like, a lot of our people think we powerless. We really have been convinced that we have no power, not realizing that the problems that we have, or the punishment that we're under, is because our forefathers turned their back on God. They stopped worshiping in spirit and in truth, and they started going after idolatry or believing that themselves to be God or whatever it is that made them turn their back on the Most High. But the prophecy is that when Christ comes, you know, the people that's in power now, it's not because they better than us, bigger, better, badder. It's because this is our punishment. We brought this on ourselves, and us correcting our actions of our forefathers is what's going to help us to get out of it.
So how are you saying that we brought it upon ourselves?
I just told you. We turned our back on God.
I haven't turned my back on God.
I said our forefathers.
Okay, so so if they did, so now it's for us to clean it up.
Correct.
God has it to where we got to be the ones to come through to clean it up. He's making it to be where it's this difficult for us to be able to make this breakthrough.
I'm looking for the verse that reads that right now.
You gotta understand, like it ain't God's fault, it's our fault. Like God is waiting on us, we're not waiting on God. So we have to. A lot of people want to blame God when we don't never want to take accountability. So we are the generation that's coming.
It's not us. It's our. It was. You could say like our ancestors or whatever the case may be. It's no different than Jesus coming and as they say dying for our sins. Like it's no different. Like now we're looking for other people to come and clean up the mess.
No, we say we doing it. We say we are doing the job. We're not looking for nobody to do it. Now again, we are calling.
How many generations is it going to take?
No. For one thing, nobody has ever tried. Like the people you got on, and that's why we have this title up here. Marcus Garvey was the last leader to come with a movement, and you know what messed him up? The CIA hired one of us to infiltrate him. And they got him kicked out the country. Now, J. Edgar Hoover said after Marcus Garvey left, we was going to make all their leaders. We was going to make sure they never get a Marcus Garvey. So every leader you got now, you got to think Marcus Garvey left here in the 1920s. So this before the Black Panther, this before your Malcolm X, this before your Noble Drew Ali, this before the all these civil rights movements, all these fake politicians. This before all that. So we never had a leader. And then, like I say, when we did have one, the CIA infiltrated him with somebody of our own kind and got him locked up for really no reason at all. He ain't commit no crime. So, like I say, it's never been God's fault. It's always been our fault. That's why we keep saying this is an in-house battle. So when Marcus Garvey got sent away, what happened? Cain killed Abel. Marcus Garvey was able to lead the people, but what Cain came and did? Destroyed them. And got them sent back home, so now the people without a shepherd. I'm just letting you know these are historical facts that we don't consider. So when you talk about all these movements we had, they knew they weren't going to take us nowhere. The movement that was going to take us somewhere was... Now, do you know anything about Marcus Garvey movement?
Mm-mm.
You see what I'm saying? A lot of people don't. So we don't even understand the movement that has to take place for us to start moving. And a lot of us stubborn, hard-headed, religious, high horses. And we can't even listen to the plan no more.
Hey, Ken, you know what's wild too? Is most all black people know about red, black, and green.
Everybody.
Most every black person know about that flag, the red, black, and green flag, but don't even understand what it's connected to. That's Marcus Garvey's flag. And that was one of the things that he said, is that a people without a flag is not a people at all. That was his standpoint. That was the whole point of coming with the red, black, and green flag. And I mean, Black history come around, we rock it like it's fashion, but we don't understand what the meaning behind it. I wanted to read her Exodus 34:7 right quick, because she keep asking about our forefathers, and I just feel like this verse might help a little bit. If that's cool, unless somebody else has something they wanted to chime in with.
You got it.
So Exodus 34:7, sis, you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so when we was talking about the forefathers, you was like, how long? Like, damn, when we gonna get past what they did? So in Exodus 34:7, it says, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, and upon the children's children, upon the third and to the fourth generation. So that's a long damn time. That means that's going into our the grandmama, great grandmama, great great grandmama, great 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 grandmama. You know what I mean? So when you talk about the punishment of our ancestors, it's a long time. It's been a long time coming. But again, the prophecies in the Bible talk about Christ in the last days, bringing us salvation, saving us from our sins, all of these things. We just never realized that it was going to be in the material world. But the Bible says God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. So it's not supposed to be a thing where you pass away to see God. God is the God of the living. And if you go down a little bit, down to verse 10 reads, and he said, behold, I make a covenant before all thy people. I will do marvels such as have not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation. And all the people among which thou art shall see the work of the Lord. For in it is a terrible thing that I will do with thee. So, not only did he put the punishment on us, but he told us how glorious our comeback gonna be. And sometimes a setback ain't a setback, it's just a step back for a come up. And that's what basically we at.
Okay, so how are you going to get the people, or how are you all getting people on board with this theory of us being the ones that to have to make this happen? Like, how are you all going to convince these other countries that we're the superiors? That they're teaching this wrong.
We already, the world already knows.
You keep saying Putin. You keep saying Putin, but
not Putin. I caught myself. We have a UCC1 on our website. The nations already know. We don't understand. See, they know and they understand. We know, but we don't understand. So the nations already know. So it's not about the nations understanding this. It's about our people understanding and forming the order that it takes to receive what all the nations have to. All the nations have to give us the things that we ask for. Once we form the order, nations have to give us the things that we ask for.
So what is the order?
The order is the Melchizedek order, where it's Christ as the master teacher. Christ has to be revealed. Once Christ is revealed, the angels are revealed. This will be the order for us to set up our government and receive the things that nations have for us. Because government have to have resources to accommodate the people. So right now we have tons of resources, but we don't have no government to govern the resources.
Okay, so again, how are you seeing this playing out?
Well, okay, that's what I'm saying.
What
like,
are the steps?
The steps is gathering our people who are qualified to lead. And these are people
So
that's
you're
gonna be
Christ.
chosen. These are people that's gonna be chosen and elected by God. And they're gonna come with the qualifications for us to move forward. We're receiving the things that's on the table for us. See, that holds the many are called, the few are chosen. Those are the few who God have chosen to come forth to do these things. And that's what's going on right now. We have brothers and sisters that we have chosen to come forth to do these things. And that's what's going on right now. We have brothers and sisters that we have chosen to come forth to do these things. And that's what's going on right now. We have Yeah, you might have to come back out and come back in. Yeah, I don't know, it's a bad echo. So right now we're just gathering our brothers and sisters who coming forth to help us build these things. It's almost like a job site. We calling people to God's job site to build and form this order. So that's what we're
Okay.
doing right now.
So then who's Christ?
Who is Christ? He's a living man walking the earth.
Christ is a living man walking the earth. How long he been walking?
He's been teaching since 2016. He's been revealing things.
Who is he? You don't know him?
Yeah, we all know him. Well, the people you see on this panel,
Okay, so
Sis Harper, I think she got to go down and come back.
it's not me.
that's you got to go down and come back up.
So who
No,
is
ain't talking to
Christ?
you.
Where is
Yeah,
he?
yeah, I got to go down and come back up. Wait, say it again.
Where is Christ? You met him?
Yeah, he's in Atlanta. He just
He's in
recently
Atlanta.
relocated to Atlanta.
So okay. So who he goes by what? Joshua?
No, it's go by the name of Yaju.
Yaju.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So how is he revealing himself?
Well, can we get the scripture in Acts? Well, God has already chosen witnesses. So through him,
Okay, so only a few will see him.
well, yeah, because when it comes to everybody will see him when he lifted up, because that's why it's two resurrections. The first resurrection is the witnesses recognize him so they can do the correct work. In order to do the work for God, you got to have the carpenter. That's why Christ is considered a carpenter. Christ is the builder of the kingdom. So in order to go build on that kingdom, you got to have the carpenter. So first, the witnesses have to recognize the carpenters so they can go and get the building. Everybody ain't going to build. So the witnesses are called to come build. Now, once everything is built, everybody going to see what's being built. And that's when everybody going to see who's the one that had the blueprint. And that's when the whole world going to know who Christ is. And that's how all the world going to come out of deception. Because everybody believe in Christ in some way, shape, or form. But when the real one show up, all that darkness is removed and the whole world is now enlightened. That's why you have two resurrections. So right now, the first is going on. And soon it will be the second one with everybody see.
Okay, so there's two resurrections, and you're saying that that's in the Bible about two resurrections.
Yeah.
You want that verse in Acts?
I'm sorry.
I don't know if she need. Would you like us to read that verse in Acts where it says only the witnesses that are chosen by God will see? If you wanted it, if not, we can move on. But it's up to you.
No, we can move on. So this has nothing. So y'all don't believe in our spirit beings, nothing beyond what's going on here on earth. So he's not of spirit. God was never, or Yahweh or Joshua, whatever you want to call him. He's never of a spirit being. He's never been a spirit.
No, God is always a spirit. That's why God's words become flesh. So God is spirit. But the word becomes flesh because God's spirit moves physical things like the wind. You can't see God, but you can't see the wind. So God's spirit is just like the wind. It moves people to do things. That's why the spirit of God is moving us to build the kingdom.
So God is within us.
Well, it's a separated. That's why you have the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit say you have a set apart spirit. So the Holy Spirit is what's God. So God's Spirit will set you apart. But the people that's in religion, they don't have God's Spirit. Everybody don't have God's Spirit. That's why you got to be moved. Yeah, that's like right now the wind. Everybody not moved by the wind. Like sometimes I was looking yesterday, I seen the wind had 2 leaves going in a circle. So that's kind of like I was looking yesterday, I seen the wind had 2 leaves going in a circle. So that's kind of like in a circle unifying God's Spirit in those people. It ain't gonna be the whole world.
So okay. Okay, so if it's not going to be the whole world, so it's like going to be like his 10 disciples walking with him, and that's what y'all are.
Well, no, it said 144, so it's way more than 10.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it's way
I know
more than
that.
10. You know, it's
Right.
way
I'm just
more.
using that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we gonna be the people with the only ones with the Spirit.
So okay. So who determines that?
The work. That's why right now, like, who determines when the leaf is picked up by the wind? Until the leaf is actually picked up by the wind, that's when it's determined.
No. What I'm saying is the one that's in Georgia that's claiming to be Christ.
Oh, God does. You know, yeah, God determines that. God and his works gonna determine who he is.
So okay, so hold on. So if that's the case, right? And who's going to determine that? And like, say if I go to Georgia, who's going to judge me to say I'm one of the 144?
Well, it's not about really judging you. If you're gonna be able
Well, how
to,
do I get in? What are y'all? How are y'all initiating people in?
you gotta. That's what I'm saying. It's not about you. God gonna initiate you, and when you hear, you gonna do the work. The work gonna determine if you in or not. It's not about you. Like, this is not like a frat where you get initiated in and you gotta the way you get initiated in this is by your works, and then it's not gonna be just the works you come in and do. It's gonna be the works you do until the end. You know, I'm not
Okay,
talking about
but
until the
again,
end of
who
until the end of
determines
this
that?
kingdom being set up. So
But who determines that?
the anointed one the anointed one that's doing the calling, the Christ
No,
that's doing the calling
yeah.
determines that. Your works
So the
gonna
one in
prove who you are.
ATL. So the one that's in ATL.
That's what I'm telling you. Your works gonna determine who you are, and
So
what.
hold on. So I have to go to ATL for him to be for me to go in front of him and to do some work for him to say, yes,
No,
sister, you're in. You're one of the
no.
144.
We're not talking about work. We're not, like, right now we are building. We're having a conversation.
Right.
We're also building. So you also
I
have to go
understand that.
out. You have to go out and confess who Christ is. You have to go out and proclaim the gospel. That's how we build the kingdom.
So hold on. So I can't. So is there a organization or something that I need to get in and get?
So, sis,
I'm being
can I say
tried.
something right quick, sis?
Please, I just want to hear this. I want to hear. Am I being tried?
I understand you want to hear it, but I want you to be able to hear it and hold on to it. So I would just suggest, because I noticed as the questions are going on, the meekness of spirit is shifting, and it's way easier to hear it and to receive it if you empty your cup. And I just wanted to put that out there for you, because we discern on this panel a lot. And so I just kind of want to assist you in your questioning by saying that. Just empty your cup a little bit and receive it, but then be able to kind of hold on to it a little bit.
And like we said, I don't know what question she was getting at. Like, for us, we do have a Zoom call where we let new people in if they want to hear. You have questions, a little more concerns. You could be around other brothers and sisters who have been part of this movement. Some for years, some for 30 days, some for months. And you could be around those people to really get a feel of what's really going on. But it's no actual initiation. You're gonna be initiated in by God. Now, if you initiate in by God, your works gonna line up. Like, all your works. When you come into this mission, you hear this. And like I say, it might take you a few months to hear it. You see what I'm saying? But once you really hear it, you're gonna be like a Jehovah's Witness in a different way. But you're gonna use your talents. That's like, say you Say you good at podcasts. You're gonna start a podcast telling everybody the good news. Say you draw. Say you're an artist, or whatever you do. Your talent's gonna be surrounded of building God's kingdom and no longer Babylon kingdom. So that's how you're initiating in this. It's really no other way. But we do have Zoom calls. Well, if you have more questions and more stuff you might want to look at, sometimes we post stuff on there. We send stuff. Like I said, it's a lot of other brothers and sisters. Some your age, some younger, some older. Also in the chat. And like I say, we have a discussion. And we have calls on Mondays for people like yourself who really interested, in seeing this and also helping making it happen. So that's what our Zoom call is for.
But this is what I have a issue with, is because you're saying that you all are hosting this as if the other 400,000 people, and you got 4,000 here that's on TikTok. How are the rest? How are y'all gonna know where these other ones are? These other ones can be in other countries.
Well,
So how are they?
Hey, well, man, I just want to look. We have people in the UK. We have people in Africa. We on other social media platforms. Just like you talk to other people. One thing about gossip, it don't take that much. How many people know about P. Diddy right now?
Mm-hmm.
Down in the whole world, right? So that's why the gospel has to spread, and it spreads by other people hearing it. When other people hear it in Africa, they go tell other people in Africa. When other people here in the UK, they go tell other people in the UK. When we here in America, we go. That's how it spreads. So we directly don't have to talk to everybody. That's why many people will be coming to this job site to also do that work. And when you go out and does that work, that solidifies you that you with the kingdom. Well, it don't solidify you, but that's more like what I mean by you gonna do work. You're gonna go out and spread this gospel. So it can get to everybody. That's the love. That's the whole reason of us talking right now, out of love.
I understand that, but I just don't understand how it's Christ that's in ATL, and you are saying that he's the Christ, and y'all are forming this
Let me chime in. Let me chime in, sis.
Hmm?
Let me chime in. So I just have a question. So, when the government or the United States or the government of the United States of America, when it was first formed, I guess we can assume that the White House and the Pentagon and all the political buildings were not there at first. But when the government first started, was it everybody around the world, a bunch of people, or would you say that it was a small group of people that got together to form the union that you see here today, or the government that you see here today?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Was the government of the United States, was it formed by a large party all over the world, or would you say it started by a few group of people getting together to make the moves of everything and the success and things of that sort that you see here today in the United States, as far as a uniform government? Did it start with the whole world, or did it start with a small group of people that got together to build that?
I only know about this country and what this country is built off of.
That's what I'm referring to. So when I refer to the Fifth Amendment and the Declaration and all those things, right? Was that a small group, or was that a large party all over the world? Because this the last time I checked, there was like 50 people.
Again, I don't know what the rest of the world did. The rest of the world doesn't follow by, the Bible, or the rest of the world don't know what's going on.
I'm not talking about the rest of the world. I'm asking
you. You said you're the one who's saying the world. You brought in the world.
So I'm trying to make this simplified the best I can. It's a simple question. I'm asking the government of the United States, all right, or the Constitution or the Declaration of the United States of America, was this formed by a bunch of people all over the world, or was it formed by the small group of people all right, in America that
Yes.
started it, which I would say was like 50 people.
Yeah. Here.
Okay, so that's exempt. So how do you think that the government of God would manifest? Because back then you have a small group of, let's say, 50 people, all right, that started a government, a declaration, a constitution, and that all holds the system politically today. Which is, we can make up. Now, I don't want to get into detail of the government, but that's the government that you see here today. So, how would you think that the government of God would manifest if the kingdom of heaven is established in the earth, which is the government of God? So, the order of God, Melchizedek, or the structure of God being established in the earth. How do you think that would happen if it's all God's kingdom? How do you think the government of God will come about?
I'm trying to.
In other words, I'm just simply saying, or trying to open up your mind, that the same way is how the government of God would manifest or come to light. It would be a small group of people, all right, that would be moved by the Spirit of God, getting together, just like my brother broke down earlier, moved by certain leaves are moved by the wind. Not all leaves from around the world, but certain leaves were moved by the wind to create that circle. So that was just an analogy of showing you that all it takes is a small group of people to get together and be moved by that same Spirit of God to begin to formulate and structure the order of God in the earth. Because the prophecy is about God's government being established in the last days. So God's government is established in the last days by men and women that are moved by the Spirit of God to take the action to build what it is the will of God, which is an order of government. You know how it says that all nations will come to the mountain of God, or that Christ will rule. He will rule all nations with a rod. Well, Christ will be a regular man on earth that would have brothers and sisters that would help him do this, which is called the house of God or the priesthood. So the prophecy is about a priesthood being risen up in the last days to formulate the house or the government of God, because the world is not under God right now. So this is why the kingdom of heaven is established by the government of God, which is an order in the earth that takes place through a group of people that bring that together, all surrounding the one that God is moving through, which is Christ. So that has to happen naturally and naturally and organically, just like any other structure in the earth. But this particular structure, okay, go ahead.
Let me ask you, if it's just if it only goes just to us, then why don't we just all leave from here and go to these other countries, since they're the ones who seem to know we're the superiors?
Because there's a gathering, like you were saying. There's a gathering of the people first. The house of God, judgment starts at the house of God. Go ahead.
Why not just tell everybody, we got to go, because the other countries, huh?
Essentially, that is what is being done, but everybody is not in order right now. So the whole coming to God or the gathering of Christ, that's what that is. It's all people realizing, well, not all people, but the people that are supposed to realize are all beginning to gather unto Christ by even understanding that Christ is on earth, that there is a man on earth that is the real Christ. And when people are beginning to hear that, that is the gathering taking place. You see what I'm saying? So everything after that, it just falls in place from the works that Christ is doing and from what he's setting up, which is the kingdom of God on earth.
So let me ask you,
So people,
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, people, the gathering of Christ, are people gathering unto Christ as they're hearing the truth. That is what you're talking about. That's what's happening. It's just a process to it.
So have any of y'all gone to to any churches and try to talk to the pastors?
Well, we don't really pastors won't really talk with us when it comes to this. But we have tried to we reach out to leaders daily. That's what we actually on here for, to reach out to leaders. But we just don't go to churches. Pastors, you can't ask a pastor a church a question in the church.
So then how? Okay, so
So
then
it's not
how?
about, again, it's not about gathering the pastors. This is actually about destroying their message.
Right, but if they're the ones that are in there and they're the ones who's teaching this and preaching this, and each day somebody's having a child and then they're being raised and going to church and learning this stuff, wouldn't you think that the best place to start would be with connecting with the pastors and,
I'm saying, well,
and
man,
conversating with them?
I didn't try to connect with many pastors. I matter of fact, we just went to a mosque about a month ago.
That's a masjid.
No,
That's a
no,
masjid. That's
no, it's the
we're
same.
talking about our people.
The church,
The churches.
all people in the mosque. It was nothing but black people in the mosque.
That's that's with the Quran. That's
But it don't.
I'm talking about us people
They still in there.
here.
They still in
That's,
there worshiping God.
I
They
understand.
came there for
Listen, that's
God.
not the but that's not the. You don't see masjids on every corner like you do churches.
Right, but I said,
I'm
sis,
talking about churches.
sis,
Masjids are here and there.
yeah, we go to churches also. We do go to churches. We go to churches. But I'm telling you, we never get a chance, or the pastor never wants to talk. Matter of fact, other people who are part of this, they go to their pastor and they tell them to come talk. Pastors do not want to talk. So we reach out to any kind of person that's saying they teaching in the name of God. We reach out to. We don't just go to mosques. We don't just go to churches. I'm just showing you, we go to anybody that's teaching on behalf of God. They never want to talk. That's why, again, we have fake leaders, and the devil is in disguise as an angel. So this is what we are revealing with the gospel. We're revealing the pastors are the devils. The people who teach in the Bible, these are the devils. Like that's what the gospel is revealing, because the devil is in disguise as an angel for God. But the devil is not a real angel for God. The devil is an angel of darkness. But to answer your question, we talk to anybody that's teaching on behalf of God, not just pastors.
So besides TikTok, you're saying that y'all go to places
Yeah,
and
we
try
travel.
and reach.
Yes, we travel. We have events. Like I say, we mostly travel and have events. But like I say, most of our gospel is being spread through social media.
Okay, so then when you host these events, how are you getting the people to go to these events?
Well, that's why we go to different cities.
But where are you how are you getting people to come to hear you if they're not believers, if they're not following, if they're people of non-believers, how are you getting them to come into these events?
Well, the truth brings enlightenment. So the truth attracts people who seeking light. So if you're seeking light and the light is shining, you will be attracted to it. Now, if you're not seeking light, then you're not going to be attracted to it. But if you are, it will attract you, and you will come. So we don't have to do no tricks. We don't have to do no musicians or none of that. We just got to speak the truth. We're just the light.
So with the Bible, do y'all believe that it's allegory?
Correct.
Don't everybody speak at once.
The Bible's allegory.
So I
Okay.
got a quick question for you. Do you actually believe in the Bible and the Jesus in the Bible?
That's questionable. I'm
Man.
still trying to discover that, because if it's allegory and it's nothing but stories, I never understood why the stories mattered. If God is God, everybody had that common denominator. I didn't understand why all of that mattered in the Bible. Um, I don't believe that, you know, he is the begotten son. He's the only way that you can get through to God. I can have my own relationship. God is within me. Um, so that's it for me.
So what actually do you stand on as far as religion or spirituality or whatever? Like, what's your beliefs?
I'm a spirit. I'm a spirit. A human having, I'm a spirit having, the human experience here. I'm trying to understand why is it that we are here as humans. Um, how did we even, come here as humans? If it's an allegory, then that's why I asked you guys, how does that even have anything to do with what y'all are doing? If it's allegory, what is it that we're here for? Why are we here?
Well, in Genesis, it says that God, when he created us on the sixth day, in the allegory, it was to have dominion over the earth. You know, we are part of the creation. So whether you having a spiritual person having a human experience or not, like King told you, you have the spirit. You can see the majesty of God in all creation, right? And so we know that the spirit animates all life. Even though those two leaves is blowing in the wind, everybody around it don't stop breathing. I mean, air is still available to everything else. So that's a set apart wind or spirit, if you will, right? So I was asking that question because you was asking, like, how do we get out the truth, or, how are people gathered? And I just wanted to give you an example of how it happens in Matthews 4:18. If you believe the Bible, or if you was, a believer in Christ, in this allegory, it says, or it reads, and Jesus walking by the Sea of Galilee saw two brethren, Simon called Peter and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. And he said unto them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. So it wasn't a bunch of hoopla, or, it wasn't a parade or a party. He spoke to them. They heard his words. His words were spirit, and they understood who he was, and they followed him. So it's happening. And the allegory is really just, it's just like if you watch a Disney movie and it's all this stuff going on, but underneath it, it's a point that they trying to make. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole production, but it's really, they telling you this whole story to make a certain kind of point. Right? So the allegories are stories that have a point to them. And the point is what's going to happen in the last days when Christ calls and tells the truth, and those that hear his voice and recognize that truth and follow him to set up this inner circle that you're asking about. Like my brother was saying, the forefathers that Americans love to brag on, it wasn't many forefathers. It was a few people. They put together some documentations, and those documentations still govern us to this day. So at the end of the day, God don't need everybody on board, and everybody's not going to be on board. That's part of the prophecy as well. Some people going to get it. More people are not going to get it. More people than not are not going to get it. At least in the beginning. And that's okay. Like, that's by that being a prophecy, that gives us a sense of rest in knowing that as much as we could talk till we blue in the face, somebody that wasn't meant to get it or that's not gonna get it, they not gonna get it. And the ones that are meant to get it, like you said, it might take a day, it might take a week, but if you really are trying to seek the Most High in spirit and truth, you'll get it. Like he say, my yoke is easy and my burden is light for a reason, because at the end of the day, honestly, the message is real kind of straightforward. But, when we bring all of our own experiences and the different things that we've kind of put together to survive in this madness to the table, then for one, you're doing a great job. You're asking some beautiful questions, and this is what you're supposed to do. That's why we up here. That's why, unlike the pastors, we leave an open forum for dialogue. You see what I'm saying? So this is what's supposed to happen. And in us doing this, being so-called fishers of men, or not even so-called, but really on this net, trying to reel in the the leadership that's gonna help us do this, we understand that we could be this close sometimes, and a person just, we not be able to get them. But in certain cases, when a person is really desired to be right and aligned with the Most High, God is gonna add the increase.
Now let me ask you, with what is the end all? Say, we all, wake up and come together, then what is that, how does that connect to what's the end all? Once say that, they give us whatever it is and we're living this life. Like what is that, what's the end story?
So all we could really do is use examples of movements that have happened in the past. Even though this is the prophetic great movement of the Bible, you could go as far back as, say, the civil rights movement. They probably didn't know. You probably had people like, why would I go sit on the bus? What is that going to do? Why would I go marching down the street with a sign in my hand? That's dumb as hell. Why would I do that? People throwing rocks and spitting on us. What is that going to do? That's just going to waste my time. I'm going to get fired from my job. I ain't got time for that. And I'm sure it was a lot of people that did that. You probably had some people that wanted to see it succeed. You had some people that probably wanted it to fail. I got a good job at the bus company and they causing all this trouble. I don't, get out of here with that. But at the end of the day, those rights that came out of it, even though, it wasn't full, it was some BS rights. Now we can drink out the same fountain and sit at your table. What we going for is we got way bigger fish to fry with this movement. But those are small little examples of what the right people doing the right things at the right time can accomplish. So these questions that you're asking, the glory in getting behind something that resonates with you is that you put in the work, you have the loyalty, and you let God give the increase. So we can't sit up here and tell you exactly what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day, but we know if we keep putting that work in, then the work is being done.
So do you guys believe that, do y'all believe in the chakras?
The who?
Chakras?
Chakras?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't speak for the whole panel in terms of chakras, because that's not the gospel we were sent out to teach, but I'm familiar with the chakras. I'm familiar with a lot of, I went through many different schools of thought before I came to this particular truth. And I know that the chakras ain't set our people free yet. I know that the sage in the house ain't set our people free yet. Everybody got an altar in their house now and stones and all this type of stuff. And what that's doing is creating a bunch of little individual doctrines that people are resting in that somebody can come along and break. If we separate it, we can be conquered very easily. But if we do like the wise men in the Bible and follow the North Star to Christ and give our gifts to the fulfillment of this prophecy, they can't stop us. Same way that you saw when they killed George Floyd and all them people came together, it was an unstoppable movement for that particular thing. Now, did it accomplish anything after the fact? I don't know. They spray painted Black Lives Matter in the streets in Washington, and then that was it. So again, we have a greater goal in this, but these are just little examples of when we get tired and fed up with the BS and actually are inspired to come together behind a movement that matters to us, we're unstoppable.
Okay, I'm not sure if I really got a definitive answer of knowing what's the end all.
Well, you was asking about the chakras, so
no, I know. I
what's the end all for chakras?
Okay.
If I knew 100% about the chakras, what's the end all be all for chakras?
Well, that will at least be teaching me about my spiritual side, my spiritual connection.
You don't think this is a spiritual movement that we telling you about?
Yeah, it's a movement for our here life now.
No, I say it's
What about
spiritual.
after?
Do you not think it's a spiritual movement when we telling you Christ is on earth?
I mean, y'all are telling me that. That doesn't mean that I believe that. So
Right.
I don't have a
And that's the
feeling.
whole
I don't
point is
have
you
a
don't
feeling.
you don't have to believe it, but I'm actually letting you know, whether you believe it or not, Christ being on earth is a spiritual movement. Whether you think Yaju is Christ or you think somebody else is Christ, Christ being on earth is a spiritual thing.
Okay. So what? How are y'all connecting to your spiritual side? What are y'all doing to connect? All this is just y'all are just on a movement of proving that we're, the superiors, and nothing about self while you're here.
I want to add this, man. You think if we set up a government that's not going to change the spirit in our people right now? If our people see us what we supposed to be, that's not going to change our spirit. That's like right now, money can change the spirit, right?
It could change your circumstances.
No, it could
I
change.
don't know. So
No,
much,
money.
I don't.
If you was just sad, right? If you had a spirit of sadness and heaviness upon you, but $10,000 enter your account, what kind of spirit you gonna get? The spirit of joy, right?
Not everybody looks at money as
Well, I'm
that.
not saying it ain't, but you gonna have. Come on now, sis. Let's be
It
living in
depends on who
reality.
has it and who
Sis,
doesn't.
we know people don't look at money the same. But if $10,000 hit your account and you was down, that will give
Okay,
you
if I
the
was
spirit
down.
of joy.
If I was down, yes, that's going to bring some joy.
It'll bring some
Me
joy.
going to
Okay,
get a
so
candy bar can go give
but
me joy
sis,
too.
and I'm using this as just an example to show you if we do what we just told you we gonna do, what that's not gonna bring joy to is that's not gonna bring the spirit of joy to our people. So what we doing is gonna change the spirit that's in our people. It's gonna give them joy. Because a lot of us don't have joy. A lot of us faking it. We live in a time of artificial, fake smiles, fake hugs,
So,
fake everything. Everybody front.
so you're saying that the people in the church right now don't have the joy.
No. No, they don't
They
have
don't have joy.
no. They wouldn't go to church.
You can't say that. You just asked me that if money hit my account and I was down and out and money hit my account, that's going to change my spirit. So it's
Well,
the
no,
same way
I was
with
only
people
using that
going
as an
to going
example.
to I understand, and now I'm using that as an example. So now I'm saying, so now with the people who are in church, they have joy.
No, they don't. No, they
They
don't have
have
joy.
joy.
No, they don't.
You can't, brother, you cannot say that because these people believe in God and
They
they have
joy,
the joy.
but ma'am,
They,
they joy is in Jesus and he not here. Everybody go to
oh,
church, they joy is when they see Jesus, right? That's what they say. They say, my joy and my glory is with the Lord. He ain't here. So they
no,
weary, they tired, they first. Now they don't want to tell the pastor this. Now people that want to go to church, they don't want to say this. So they faking it. They fake their happiness. They fake. Why you think there's so much going on in the church? Like I don't know what you've been looking at these. Like you know what's all. You know how bad the church is.
I, I,
I just want to know. So you telling me by you being a spiritual woman, you trying to tell me the church house is where good people at?
I, listen,
So
whether it's
I'm
there
listening.
or anywhere.
I'm listening. I'm trying to make
It's
sure.
not just you. It's not just them. It's not, and not all of them are that. So we're not going to
No,
call all
man,
of
man.
them
What I asked you, you telling me good people are at the church? That's what you tell. You know what the church has done to us
Yeah,
over the years. You know what these
I,
pastors have done
yeah,
behind closed doors.
even outside of the church, people have done wrong stuff.
All
Like
right,
if
then.
that, if the
So
scripture was
why
inside,
are you a spiritual woman pointing to the church like everything is sweet there? Ain't nothing sweet
no,
at the church house.
be- because for me, I'm a realist. That's number one. Number two, I'm fair. You understand? Um, I'm not going to just put down others because they don't have the same belief in what I believe in.
Well, that's not
You
what I'm
understand?
doing.
And I'm going to have understanding, I'm going to have understanding of what they're going through. And I say that people who go to church, they have that joy. They have joy because they feel like that's their covenant. Okay,
So why you go
so
to church then?
that wasn't for me.
Oh, it ain't for you.
That's not no,
So
it
joy
wasn't
not
for
at the
me.
church for you, but it's for other
Right,
people.
right. If
So are you gonna send your
because they
kids to
go
church?
there.
So I'm just trying to
No,
say, are you gonna send your kids to church?
no, I did when I was.
So okay. So is church a good place?
Not for my beliefs. It doesn't resonate for me.
Well, see, the
You
thing about the
understand?
truth, but this is why I say the truth has no respect of persons. The truth don't respect a lie.
Right.
Okay,
But that's what.
but what I'm saying, but when you have the truth, you don't give respect to no lies.
Right.
The truth
But
don't make people feel good. Don't the truth make people feel
but
uncomfortable?
here's the thing, and I hear you.
That's a
But
question.
at this,
I just want to ask you: does the truth make people feel uncomfortable?
yes,
Okay, then. So when you tell the truth, you can't worry about how people feel. If you're gonna be a speaker of the truth, that's why the truth have no what? No friends.
no, I'm not
So
saying
I'm not trying
no.
to be friends with people who don't have the truth.
I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is
But here's what you saying.
respectfully. If
You
I
say you rather be
no
fair. The
no
truth is the truth. The truth ain't fair. It's the truth.
no, what I'm saying is that I'm not going to down somebody else for what they believe in. I can only speak and tell them, but if they don't follow, that's on them. But at the same time, I'm not going to tell somebody that they are not of joy because they go to church. That's not my place. I'm not going to do
I'm
that.
not. You asked me a question, and I just told the truth about it. I don't go around telling people
And
you don't have
I am
joy because you
too.
go to church. You asked me a question, and I just told the truth. They ain't got no joy because they joy
Right,
in Jesus. So Jesus
right,
ain't
but
here, so they ain't got no joy. That's why they go to
yeah,
church.
but that's that's how you view it. I don't
Oh,
view
that's
it
how
that
they
way.
view it.
I don't view it that way. I don't
Oh,
view
they
people who
view it
go to
that
church.
way. I ain't say
Hold
you view
on,
it. The people
hold
at
on,
church view
hold
it
on.
their way.
Hold
That
on.
way.
Hold on. You were saying that the people in church are not joyful, right? And I'm saying that you can't tell people that they're not joyful because that is what they believe in. You can only tell them what you believe and what you're teaching, but you don't have that right to tell somebody that they're not joyful because they're not because that's your truth. That's not their truth.
Well, the thing about it, man,
You
like
speaking.
I wasn't doing that. I
Hold
was
on.
only answering your question. I wasn't doing that, and I was only asking your question because of by way of what you asked me. You see what I'm saying? I don't go around doing those things. But the question you asked me, and I asked it based off the senses of understanding that the Christian people, joy comes either after they leave the earth or when they see Jesus. That's when they get their joy. That's why when
Okay.
stuff happening in the government world, they don't worry about it. Because they say they don't worry about struggles on this world. Because they know on the other side, it's gonna
What's
be
the other
joy.
side?
I went
What's
to
the
church.
other side?
I grew up in a
What's
church
the other
family.
side?
So
What's
yeah,
the other
joy is on the
side?
other side. So
What's the other
whatever's going on in
side?
this world, if commotion or my bills ain't getting paid or whatever ain't going on good, it's okay. As long
What
as
is
I
the
know
other
Jesus on
side?
the other side. But that's
What's the
so you
other
can't have
side?
joy. You can't have joy right now if you're waiting to get to the other side to receive the joy.
So is there an other side?
But man, we don't talk about that. That's why we bringing joy to our people right now. We bringing joy
So
to
why
our people
don't wait? So why is that not a conversation for the other
because we
side?
don't know. We don't talk about things we don't know, and we don't talk about things we don't understand. I don't understand the afterlife. I never been to the afterlife. So why would I talk about something that I have no
But
clue about?
you talking
Hey,
about
so
beforehand, and you
but
wasn't
wait,
living
but
that
hold on,
then.
sis, think about this. What you
You
saying?
going by the Bible?
Hold on, but you asking us why we don't talk about the other side, but nobody goes in the church and asks them why they not talking about right now. So why do we have to
I
talk about the other side if they not worried about what's going on in this life? Our
be-
argument or our standpoint is to help our people out of the condition we in today, not when
and
we
that's
pass away.
okay. So you can't tell the people that you're trying to reach that they not joyful because that's what y'all feel like.
No,
You understand?
we're not
No,
going in the you assuming that we trying to reach people that's in the church, but at the end of the
you're trying
day,
to
we
reach
trying to
everybody, yeah?
we did what?
Y'all trying to reach everybody. Whether they in
No,
the church, whether they on the street, whether they in the
wait,
bathroom, it don't matter.
hold on. So you're not really listening to us because we didn't say we was going. We know we not gonna reach everybody. So how can we try to reach everybody if we already know we not gonna reach everybody?
Okay, so just give
Wait,
up.
hold on, but
So how
hold on. But see, you're not even dialoguing with me for real because you just said that you honest and you a realist. From a realist standpoint, if you go into a job knowing that you got a limited amount of things that you're going to accomplish, why would you get frustrated, upset by not accomplishing more than that? We know that we're not going to reach everybody. We know that. We're not going out marching in front of churches trying to catch people coming out of church on Sunday to listen to what we got to say.
But why not if you're trying to
Because
reach the people?
because we have tunnel vision. We have a very specific set of instructions, which is to go and teach the new song. We teaching a new song, and we know that only the circumcised eyes and ears is gonna see and hear us. So
Okay, so y'all
so
the
listen,
new
but
way,
this is the thing.
the
So
new teaching.
when you have a job to do, right? If you get taken to and fro by every single distraction, we on a narrow path. I don't know if you ever seen on the side of a mountain, it's a narrow path. And a lot of times they'll tell you don't look down because you might slip. You got to stay focused. We are on a very hyper-focused, narrow path. So all of these things, these questions that you're asking us, I don't know the nature that you're asking us to get a better understanding or if this is actually a debate at this point. Right. But the point is that the people that's in the church, those that want the truth, 9 times out of 10, they're going to do like you did and leave the church because they're going to reach a ceiling. They're going to understand to a certain point that there's some truth, but it ain't the whole truth. And a lot of people are, like he just told you, the church is in turmoil right now. The pastors are in turmoil right now. Everybody is trying to find the truth. Or at least the ones that's and now the ones that's not looking for the truth, that's comfortable with tradition. Mama went here, grandmama went here, so it's good enough for me. Maybe they do convince themselves that they happy. But at the end of the day, just like he told you, being a realist, if your condition was better, not only would it make you more joyful, but then you can decide what you want to do with your understanding. But right now, people is leaning on the Bible because they're leaning on the things they can't see because reality is not showing them anything better. And what we're trying to let people know is something better in the earth. Christ is on earth. He got a plan, and the plan is already fortified through prophecy. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. The prophecy, and I just read it to you in the book. The prophecy, so we're going based on that. We're not going based on these debates like, oh, if we switch up what we're saying a little bit, we can get a few more people. That's not the point of the truth. That's absolutely not the point of the truth. That's not how no elite group is going out changing their program to get more people. You're not going to see the Navy SEALs make their program a little easier so they can get more Navy SEALs. No, they're going to weed out the people until they get to the ones that's actually qualified and eligible to be a SEAL. This is, and I'm only using these cardinal examples because I don't win the Bible a few different times. It's like there are examples to show you how we move, why we move the way we move. And the reality of it is if you want this truth, if you're actually seeking understanding, then the understanding is there. Right? But if it's about a debate, then we, as a realist, it would be better if you just said, you know what? I don't believe what y'all saying, and I want to debate you.
Okay, so we were talking about the chakras. So you're saying that the chakras, you don't believe in the chakras, or you do believe in the chakras? Do you believe in astrology? Do you believe in any of that? Do y'all believe in your zodiacs? Any of that?
Now,
I'm aware of it.
I just want to ask. So, what if I told you the Bible talk about 7 spirits?
Okay.
You ever heard the Bible talk about 7 spirits? Don't you got 7 chakras?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so these are allegory teachings that man have turned into watered down information. Now, my brother man was saying earlier, we are fishermen. Why does it label Christ a fisherman? What we are truly drowning in right now? If right now we as a people had to be drowning in anything, what would you think we are drowning? We're actually drowning in?
I would think knowledge.
Information. Beautifully
That's a
said.
perfect answer.
So Christ is coming with that rod, that fishing rod, which is information, the set apart information, to get us out of the watered down information that we are in. So the Bible watered down, the chakras watered down, the Quran watered down, the tarot cards watered down, the zodiac signs are watered down. All this information is watered down. And we leaving the church house attaching ourselves to it. Because the church wasn't true. Because most of us started off in the church. We can't deny it. Either your grandma, somebody in your family went to church. So we all started there, and we all left that foundation and attached ourselves to a deeper rabbit hole. So even when you talk about the sage, the Bible talk about the burning plant. Who the burning plant is? This is the one that's gonna remove all the evil spirits. But it ain't no real sage that you go light and put on fire. But if you light sage, that means you just in the watered down knowledge. You in the watered down information. So this is why we are being made fishermen, to pull our people out of that knowledge, no matter what it is. To bring you up to Mount Zion or the Ark of the Covenant, so you could be secure in God's covering.
But this is what my question is behind that then. If it's watered down and it's there, what are the teachings? What are y'all teaching about that?
Well, so I'm saying, like, we don't really touch on the chakras and a lot of things. Like, the chakras are dealing with the fullness of God. But that fullness of God comes through anointed being first. That's why it says 7 spirits will take hold of one man. I think, 7 spirits will take hold of one man. So that's talking about, it's not as they tell us, but it's just someone being in the fullness of God. You know, like some people, that's why some people got part of the truth. You can't speak when you got part of it. You got to have the fullness of it. 7 represents like 24/7. 7 represents fullness, wholeness, complete. 7 days of the week. God created the earth in 7 days, heaven and earth. So it's another form of teaching or showing you how someone will come with this fullness of God to be an image for the people. So everything could be in alignment with God. That's the true teaching of the chakras. It's not everybody individually just it's just showing you about the alignment and the fullness of God.
Okay, so then can you give an example from the Bible that deals with that?
They do have a Bible verse where it talks about the fullness of God. You know that verse I'm talking about? It speaks of the fullness. But I know the one when it talks about the 7 spirits is in Isaiah chapter 11. I know that one right offhand.
So if you're saying that that's what it is, right? What I'm trying to understand is why isn't that part of the teachings? Why is that so people can learn that and know how to tap in to themselves so they can be, aligned, so they can be on the path of what you're trying to get people to get on.
Well, that's what's happening. But that's for the leaders to do. That's not for everybody to do. The leaders have to be in line with God so we can give the world direction. We gotta be givers of direction, which are gods. G-O-D. So for us to give that direction, we got to be in alignment with the true God, the universal God, the all-power God, the unseen God. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's happening. That's why we got the body of Christ. You have the head with many members. So everything you said is happening, but it's happening by the Spirit of God. It's not happening by the watered down information of mankind. And that's why everybody who's really into the chakra game, they're not really into their chakras. But you got people who don't even talk about chakras, but theirs is aligned because they are being moved by the Spirit. You see what I'm saying? So we are doing these things, like I say, but we don't have the Babylon. We have the actions and the manifestation of what these things supposed to be. You know,
that was Ephesians 3:19 with the fullness.
I think that is it, Ephesians 3:19.
Yeah.
Let me get that right quick. 3:19. Well, yeah, we can start at verse. Let's matter of fact, let's start at verse 17, because we're gonna talk about the root. Again, Christ is the root of David that sprang up. It's almost like a stem. The spine also represents a stem. It sprang up where all these things attach themselves to that stem. Same thing go all the way up to the head. So Christ being that root that people attach themselves to spring up. Well, we're gonna start at verse 17 and read the I guess we could read to the end, to verse 21.
Ephesians 3:17, and it reads, that Christ may dwell in your hearts by faith, that ye, being rooted and grounded in love, may be able to comprehend with all saints what is the breadth and length and depth and height, and to know the love of Christ, which passed knowledge, that ye might be filled with all the fullness of God.
Now you notice how I say passes knowledge. So the knowledge of the world, you gotta be past that. That goes that set apart spirit. Yeah, everybody can have knowledge, and like you even said, that's what we drowning in. But who gonna pull us out of that? That would be that fishermen of men who make other fishermen. You know, this is how everybody gonna understand these things. And then he is gonna bring the fullness of all these things, which is again the 7 chakras, which means the fullness, the 7.
So it's not speaking of you individually as a spirit yourself.
Well, no, that's why I said Christ in you. Christ is the anointed one. You see what I'm saying? So the kingdom of heaven is within you, but you got to have the image so you can find it within you. That's the whole thing about the image of woman. So you could be a reflection of that image, but you have to go within to even be that reflection. Like just because Christ in front of you,
the root.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was just gonna say, just because Christ in front of you, that don't mean you're gonna become Christ. You still got to go within you to become that. So you have to go within, but you just got that image now.
Our highest being.
Well, that's what Christ. That's why Christ. That's the whole thing about the rapture. We've been called the high school. You know, so that's the whole thing about. And then Christ is the high priest. So this is what all these things are said for. Again, that's the one that has aligned the chakras to bring forth the image that we need to find the kingdom within us.
And people be listening to part of what's being said. That verse says that Christ may dwell in your hearts by faith. So how do you get faith? Faith come by hearing, hearing by the word. So you got to get the word from Christ for the faith to dwell in you. That's just like if, you know, one of your loved ones told you something and it stuck with you and it's in your heart. So you got to hear from the word to get the faith. And that's how Christ is dwelling in your heart by faith as it reads. Well, finishing with verse 20. Now unto him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us, unto him be glory in the church by Christ Jesus throughout all ages, world without end. Amen.
Again, that's that fullness. And I just want to read one verse, and I'll give you back the mic, sister. I know you don't like all these verses, but
Yeah, y'all good.
just for the viewers, sometimes because you asking great questions, we having a great conversation. So sometimes for the viewers, we just bring clarity. So if you read Colossians, because I already got it, I'm just gonna read one verse. In Colossians 2:9, it says, "For in him dwell all the fullness of the Godhead bodily." That goes that fullness again. That goes that 7 chakras. The one who's the image for the rest of the body. And that's all Christ is. And that's why they took Christ and put him in the sky.
But I still feel like, okay, that it still is, it's within us. Like how it's within us, it still exists. And you're saying that it's watered down. But then it needs to be taught. So it's not continued for it to be where nobody really understands that.
Well, it don't need to be taught it. People need to see a reflection. Like, that's why we're only talking to leaders. The leaders need to see a reflection. Leaders are taught by the world. They are taught by their experiences. True leaders, their experiences are their teachers.
Doggone.
But a reflection brings forth change. So we're not bringing forth what we're teaching. We bringing light. That's also, and that's why you talk about candlesticks. I know you're familiar with Christ gonna baptize with fire. Well, that fire gonna light the candlesticks, but if you ain't got a candlestick, you can't get the fire. So you gotta have a candle for you to even get the fire. Everybody ain't got a candle. Some people feel they don't need a candle because they all right with darkness. But the leaders, they got a candle in their hand. They're like, man, I need some light. So they're looking for the fire. They're like, man, give me that fire. How we say? We be like, man, give me that fire. I want that fire. So these leaders, they want that fire. That's why I say all those who are hungry and thirsty, come eat. So the baptism of fire is to light candlesticks for those who have the candlesticks. And together, all that light will remove darkness. Because light removes darkness. When you turn the light on, darkness can't say, well, I'm going to chill for a little while. Darkness got to automatically leave. But darkness don't get rid of light. That's why the sun got to leave for darkness to appear. But as long as the sun there, darkness don't overpower light. So we just got to focus on bringing the light. So it's not about a teaching. We're not really teaching. We're revealing the light.
And y'all don't believe that people knowing, within themselves isn't important to be able to move on past that?
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Would you, based on your understanding of the Bible, would you say that the disciples were an elect group of people spiritually?
I would think if you're going to look at it as, to relate to our human side and more than
Well,
more so than the allegory side.
We can't not relate to our human side,
But it's allegory.
But this is what I'm saying is you can't, if you're gonna say you're a realist, that phrase is related to being in the physical. So we can't negate our physical self to make spiritual points. We in the flesh. So to make it even simpler, to avoid the allegory, right? In our community, a lot of our children try to go to the league. Our great athletes on the playground, one of the big dreams is to go to the league, right?
Yeah.
Do the pros still go to practice?
Yeah.
So if you good enough and you better than everybody in your community, you that one in a million chance person that go to the league, you got to be pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
At whatever it is that you're doing, you got to be pretty elite at what it is that you're doing. So in this case, we talking about sports, but just parallel that with spirituality. When they go to the league, they still got to go to practice.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that's in the league, you see them in games and they trash. So you might ask yourself, how did this person make it out of the hood as that one in a million chance and then get to the league and they trash? That is so the point that I'm making is even the elite still need leadership. They still need structure. They still need guidance. So the leadership, the structure, and the guidance in the Bible is the Melchizedek order. It's God, Christ, man, woman, and child. So when we bringing these things to the table, we're not trying to rob anybody of their gifts or their spiritual enlightenment or any of those things. We're saying that there's still structure and order to it that makes us even better than we was when we was in the hood. Your natural gifts is God given. You know, God's majesty and grace is with all of us, but some of us gonna build on it, you know, enhance it, make it better. Others is just gonna stay on the playground and, you know, be happy with what they can do in the hood. So the point is that, you know, you might have the chakras, you might have the gifts, but like Brother Man was saying, that candlestick has to be lit by the proper authorities for it to actually magnify, to bring majesty to God and not just to self. Because if we using our gifts just for ourselves, then we denying God the reciprocation of him giving us those gifts. He didn't give it to us for us to have it for ourselves.
No, I'm not saying that, but I think that people need to be able to recognize that's within. You know,
Well, following Christ don't stop you from recognizing your gifts. It actually it highlights those things.
But that I'm not saying I'm not following. What I'm saying is that I think that's being left behind of people actually knowing that, you know, okay, it's allegory, there's a message behind it for you to be able to receive that. And since he's saying that things are watered down, then if it's watered down, then, you know, juice it up then. Let people understand what it really is, because that's part of the teaching. That's part of who you are to stay in the game. You know, you can't be whole within yourself and you go out and try and teach and preach and be a leader when you're not in the rightful mind or rightful spirit or being whole within yourself. How do you go out and do that?
Again, you know, being a part of a team doesn't rob you of your own gifts and your natural ability. It's just being a team player.
Yeah. All right, fellas.
We appreciate the questions though. It's been dope.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
All right, sis.
All right, y'all.
Peace and blessings.
Thank you.
And that goes to show you, like, you know, she had, you know, a lot of good questions, you know, which in a way, we don't understand how important this movement is and how much healing it brings to our people. That's what it really, that's what I see. That's what got out of that conversation. We don't know how important this message is, and what we're doing actually is the healing of the nations. We think chakras, Jesus, getting on your knees, the Mecca rock, going to the grave, gonna heal us. That's not gonna bring healing. That's just sweeping more dirt under the rug. And now the dirt done piled up. And now it's filthy right now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So people don't even realize how much this movement will bring healing to our nation. That's you know, and like I say, that's why we come up the other night, y'all, so we can have that conversation and really show you the importance. And like I say, having that conversation shows you, like, we so caught up in what we think and what we doing, and we think what we doing is so right when it's so wrong. And she said it best: what we drowning in is knowledge. The knowledge is to think we know.
Yeah. What I got out of that is the gospel that everybody preaching is individuality. You know, nobody really wants to be a team player at this point. And everybody got their own doctrine and don't see the value in coming together with their brothers and sisters. You know, which you can't really blame them because, like she was saying, with the preachers and everybody else, you know, gathering people and then letting them down left and right. And if we don't know that the majority of the leaders that we have was placed there, you know, these are not people that we elected and brought up ourselves. These are people that's put in front of us. You know, they saying all the things that feel right and sound good. And then when they let us down, we can't, you know, then we don't believe in coming together. But, you know, that's what's dope about this movement is Christ is the one that the people lift up.
Mm-hmm. The healing of the nations.
Yeah.
Well, Carl, we're not letting you up, brother. Go back to church and wait on Jesus. We're not letting you up, Carl. You're wasting your time, bro.
Yeah.
You don't have no validity or no backbone with nothing you saying. You think after all the preachers and preached the message about Jesus, you think I'll come over here and preach it too? Now you really, and then you think I'll come over here and preach it like people don't know it? Like, y'all be up here talking that shit like we don't know it. Like, we ain't never heard that shit before. Man, we heard that shit all the, like, that's what gets me. I'm like, man, y'all lost y'all damn mind, man. You say a mind's a terrible thing to waste. Oh, y'all done wasted that month. It's wasted. Well, you could be cutting grass, painting the house, go play with your grandkids or some shit. You delivering a message that everybody heard. Shit, the babies in the womb heard y'all message. But they got little bitty boys, 5 years old, preaching that message, what you preaching. You know, so that's what gets me with people, man. They try to share that message that the whole world heard. Like you really up here saying something new. They get mad but don't nobody want to listen. What the fuck we listen to? Hey, Carl, we want to go to church, Carl. We just go wake up. Matter of fact, there was a bunch of church houses open. We decided not to go. But we going to come on TikTok and listen to someone preach to us about the church. Come on, man. That shit. I'd be a fool. You know. Well, what do I say, Carl? You know, we ain't got no more words no more. We done talked to you, been talking to you for years, so nah, bro, we ain't got no words for you.
They down in the comments talking about I was rooting for you, Carl. Hey, what was the name of the dude that the crowd was rooting for when they had Christ and they brought out one of the killers? Barnabas, was that his name?
It wasn't Barnabas, it's Barabbas or something. Barabbas or something like that.
Yeah. People be fulfilling their role in the prophecy and don't even know it.
Don't even know it. Man, my people. But you
let
know,
the rappers go. Keep Christ.
same people ask themselves, why would they get rid of Christ? That don't make no sense. I wouldn't have got rid of Christ. And the Bible testified of who you are. They got a scripture where it says, you say you wouldn't have been partakers in killing the prophets. And the scriptures testify against you that you are the people who killed the prophets.
What verse is that?
What that verse? I think that's in Matthew somewhere. It's either Matthew or John. You know, kill the prophet. Matthew. Huh? No. The scriptures testify. The scriptures testify that you are the ones who killed the prophets. Nobody can about the title, boy. Yeah. This is not from John. What verse is it? Yeah. Matthew 23 and 31.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, you can read it.
Matthew 23 and 31. Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets.
Well, you should have started at verse 30, my bad.
30? Okay.
Yeah, verse 30 and then 31.
Okay. I'm all right. I started at 29 because this is like the beginning of a sentence. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets.
So they're going to be witnesses of themselves because they're going to witness the actions that they do is the same actions as their forefathers. And that's why the next verse say what?
Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers.
That's just what they doing. They filling up the measure. At the same time saying, I wouldn't have crucified no prophet.
Right.
Or first Peter, ain't no way in the world I would crucify Jesus. Ain't no way in the world I would never go against my Lord. You bear witness of yourself. Your actions bear witness of who you really are.
Damn. That means sometimes it's just better to be quiet.
A fool is known by his many words. Well, y'all, that's why I say, man, we just giving y'all the whole measurement so you can measure up in building the temples of God. That's what we're doing, y'all. But it's crazy. Nobody came up about this title up here.
That was funny. The first guest asked about the old title. Like nobody asked about the title when the title was up for months. As soon as it's gone, the very first question. Very first guest, very first question.
First question, first guess. He must have thought, oh man, they must have changed their mind.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can see. Damn, man. I wonder y'all you change his mind, man. I'd be so happy if you change his mind. Dude, nah, they're gonna be back. We matter of fact, I ain't putting this title back up. We going back to the old title. That's all he made me do.
Yeah, they ain't ready for this title at all.
Yeah, you can't hear a pin dropping here, boy. I ain't even see the haters in the comments.
I didn't even know TikTok got this quiet. They shut it down?
Hold on. They might be finna ban it.
This was the month.
They're supposed to been gone, huh?
This month.
Oh, yeah, September.
Only a day or two left. I think they shut it down. It's awfully quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. We coming with it, y'all. So you know, and I seen a brother today. They said they found something else in the Grand Canyon. So they saying that what they found? They found some sculptures. And I'm like, man, where these images coming from? Well, like who making these images? I'm talking about like they got some They got some mud shaped up into a little building, and then they got a little pharaoh in there shaped up in some mud. I'm like, man, where this shit coming from, man? Like, and then they say this Egypt. They found it in the Grand Canyon.
Right.
And what we do, we come on TikTok and post it like we're a reporter.
Like it's facts.
Yeah, we reporting they nonsense. So they ain't got colonized no more. They can just put some stuff out and put some pictures up there, and you gonna come up here and report it for them and colonize us with it.
Right.
And we don't know which way to go.
Can you please peace and blessings or whatnot? But what is your works? Where's your works at?
Can I ask you something, white boy?
Nah, answer my question first.
That ain't how we do stuff. Look, what is peace and blessings and whatnot? What does that mean?
Peace and blessings?
No, you said peace and blessings and whatnot. What does that mean?
No, I'm saying whatnot because shit, I'm not really with the movement. I only said it because out of respect for y'all.
But you saying a respectful thing and then putting disrespect on it.
Well, sorry for my disrespect. I apologize for that. So in return, can you tell me what works are y'all doing?
Well, you said you ain't with the movement, so what difference do it make?
Because y'all making a claim that everybody is gonna come for you. All of y'all, the whole community. They not gonna stop. They gonna keep coming.
What? Who said that?
And it ain't about who said it. It's what's being seen.
No, you said that we said that. I'm asking you who and when was that said?
Making a claim? You saying you Christ.
Brother man, the whole community come, that's what we want. They gonna see the light. That's cool. The whole community don't come anyway.
But ain't no work being done.
Well, that's in your eyes. Because you're not with it, so you don't see it. You said you wasn't with it, so of course you're not gonna see it.
Then
But
I don't see it.
you understand, white boy. Hey, and I hate you even saying that. Your opinion is not for the rest of the million people in the earth. That's just your opinion. What about the other people's opinion? Which one?
Agree. They agree with me.
Hey, no, these people up here don't agree with you. Everybody in the comments don't agree with you. So why are you lying?
I ain't saying everybody.
Okay then.
Half of them not even paying attention.
So your few people opinion, it don't matter, bro.
Ain't no few people. It's me. I stand alone.
Well, that's even worse. Your opinion damn sure don't matter.
Just like yours. Just like all y'all, the whole community.
Okay, so guess what?
Everybody gonna be against y'all.
Well, so guess what? I'm doing something for you. What you doing for me?
What you doing for me?
I'm judging the Roman Catholic Church because that's the government you pay tithes to.
Which is gonna be a problem.
Are you against the Roman Catholic Church or are you with the Roman Catholic Church?
I ain't with no church, period.
That's a question. So are you against them or are you with them?
No, I'm not with them.
So you against them, right?
You can say that.
Okay, so I'm fighting the people you against. So guess what? I'm doing something for you. Now, you're not doing nothing for me but coming against me. So you see how that sounds? I'm fighting the people you against now. That's what I'm doing.
I'm not trying to come against you. I'm sorry I come off like that.
That's cool. Hey, bro, I ain't in my feelings about it. This is what it is. I'm cool. We cool about it. But I'm just trying to make you see something right now. You see what I'm saying? End of the day, you saying you're not with my movement, but you against the Roman Catholic Church. I'm against the Roman Catholic Church. I got a plan to take them down, but you not with my movement.
No.
That ain't even realness. If that's like right now, if I got an enemy and my big brother come and take my enemy out the way, and I'm not gonna be like, I'm against you, big brother. I'm gonna be like, man, I appreciate that, big bro.
Okay.
You need help?
look at it from my side. I'm gonna show you my side of it. Look, most folks, most folks, if they see some work, they gonna believe. But by you just talking, starting a petition, they not gonna really be with it, because you ain't showed no works. You ain't stopped no crimes. You ain't stopped no killings. You just talking about you Christ and how the Christ that everybody believe in is false.
Well, okay, and that's cool. But at the same time, you don't know who Christ is. So you shouldn't jump in front of a moving vehicle when you don't know who Christ is yourself. So at the end of the day, I'm still have a task. Like, I'm saying I'm Christ and I present the work that I'm doing. I present
I'm just on the sidelines.
But even though I'm Christ, I got a body, I'm a head. I need my toes, I need my hands, I need my arms, I need my legs, I need my calves, I need my veins, I need my cells. I need all that to still form the body. So that's why I gotta gather the people first. I'm still Christ. But I still gotta gather the body so we can go forth and do the work.
What I'm trying to tell you is you would get more out of, you being Christ if you show some work.
Well, brother man, did they believe Christ in the Bible?
No.
Why they didn't believe him?
Because he didn't show no works. He was just claiming it. Then he showed some works. Then that's when they start believing. And that's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's the same thing gonna happen with me. That's why it's two resurrections. It's two resurrections. The work that I'm doing right now, they too low down to see. They too low down of a people to see. But some people see. Many are called, few are chosen. The chosen ones is gonna make everybody see. That's the same way you read in the Bible. It's the same way it's happening right now. So you have nothing to worry about.
I doubt that.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, like I said, everybody got their opinion.
At least I'm man enough to come up here and tell you.
Oh, you ain't the only one. Get in line. Like you said, many are called. How many are chosen? Oh, I know you don't want to say it.
Many are chosen.
Many are called.
How many? No. Okay. You saying few are chosen. It's plenty that'll come, but few are chosen. So you basically the only one out of this whole planet. All these people, you saying you the only one, you the chosen one.
How many people was on earth at Jesus' time?
Millions.
How many was How many was Jesus?
One.
So why are you tripping?
All right, you got that.
Yeah, I know. I got everything. God has given it to me. I got everything I need to defeat deception and defeat darkness. I got everything I need. And it's God given.
It's God given.
So what I'm doing is I'm not doing it in the name of Cordell or Yaju. Nothing I'm doing is in just because I woke up one day and bumped my head and let me just start doing this. That's why I go in the book that's written to show you that I'm doing everything in the name of the Father as it was written before I even was born.
Have you spoken to the Father?
The Father don't speak. I've been moved by God. That's why the Spirit came upon me. My anointment is just like a dove descending upon me. It's a spirit that comes upon me and moves me.
Okay, how much you pray? How much do you pray?
Oh, Lord. Now we finna get into a whole nother conversation. To be honest with you, brother, my prayer is my actions. I answer the prayer.
And those action is?
I fulfill the prayer of the saints, which is to bring back the majesty of God, to bring back redemption, to bring back salvation, to bring back restoration. That's the fulfillment of the saints' prayers.
Okay, in Pacific, what is that? What is that called?
That's simply restore our people back to harmony. That's simply restore people back to harmony. So I came to restore.
I don't think you're the only one doing that, though. I understand the ones you talk to, they false or whatnot, but I don't think you're the only one doing that.
Well, okay, well, time will tell. Hey, time will tell. Just know this. Time will tell now. You know, so that's just like, because I'm not going to be the only one. I am not doing it now because others have been anointed to go out and do the same thing I'm doing. Raise the dead, cast out the demons, heal the sick, heal the blind. But you still have to be a shepherd for the people. God creates a doorway. That's why it says, will a man rob God? So many people is robbing God because why? They haven't went through the door, as it tells you in the Bible. The door is Christ. That's what Christ is, just the doorway so you can be a shepherd for the people. You can't shepherd the people based off your own will. You got to do it off God's will.
Okay, now
So it's going to be other people. I'm not just saying like I'm the only one. I'm gonna gather everybody. That's why my brother man read earlier. The Son of Man gonna send out his angels to gather the people.
Okay, I got a comment that's asking, bring the Pope up, talk to him.
If my people would accept the one who sent me, the Pope would be coming to talk to us right now. So, because you got to understand, God has something on the table for the people. I'm a shepherd. I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this for my people. So it's a lot of stuff on the table that we can't even get until the people are mature enough to receive it. That's like right now, if your mother and father had a whole bunch of riches and they got a whole bunch of kids, they going to give it to all their kids or they going to give it to their mature kids? They're not going to leave all their riches to everybody. They're going to leave it to the mature one. Same way with God.
Oh, man. All right. That's with most parents, though.
Yeah, same thing with God too. It's the same principle God used. That's why we use it.
All right. Well, thank you for bringing me up. I needed to talk to you. I needed to hear it.
Well, I got a question for you before you go. Do you want us to be successful?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't wish no ill will on none of y'all. I just got my opinion about it.
No, you answered the question, and that's I personally I appreciate you being forthright about that. If you want to see what we got going on, our mission and us fulfilling this prophecy, if you wanted to be successful, I can say I appreciate that.
You're welcome. A whole bunch in the end.
All right, I'm going down.
All right, peace. Go Jack. What's up, brother man?
Peace, King. Peace.
What's up?
Peace to the clouds. Peace, AI. Peace, Saint. I appreciate you, King. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for doing what I couldn't do. I appreciate you for doing what none of us could do. I appreciate you for the diligence and the patience that you got night after night. Taking the time to explain to people what we have in front of us. Even though we've all, as a people, have been indoctrinated by Babylon's teachings, and we love her so much that we don't want to let her go. We know that we being abused. We know that physically and mentally. We know that we being poisoned every day. But we still don't want to come out of her because that mental enslavement is real. That's been happening for so long. So for that diligence that you persistently do on a day-to-day basis, it has to be from an anointing. It has to be the Holy Spirit attached to it. I don't see you coming on here talking about send me some money. I don't see you coming on here trying to empty out nobody's bank accounts like the churches do. You know what I mean? I see you coming up here and I see you trying to bring enlightenment. Even if I didn't believe at this point that you was the Messiah. I'm wise enough to see that you trying to do something for people that's not trying to do something for us, you know, that we're not trying to do for ourselves. You know, even with the comments tonight, and I'm not ragging on nobody, I'm just merely observing. When you made the statement and say, you know, that the lies have been scattered, the lies been scattered, the people been scattered, you know, even with the chakra thing, you know, and then the 7 spirits, you know, it's all deception and it's all designed to keep us scattered as a people and in the mind. And we so full of ourselves as people that all we know is abuse, because that's all we've been subjugated to is abuse. And because we've been subjugated to that abuse for so long, we think that abuse is normal when that is not godly. It's just not. It's not what God intended for us. To abuse one another and be abused, and to believe that abuse is the way to go. And we living in it. And we loving it. And it's wrong. But every night, you come up and you speak the real, and you tell the people, and you patient with the people, and you diligent with the people, and you try to reach the people. Even if you could just, you see that you almost got them and they still wiggling around. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just appreciate you for that. You know what I mean? Like, I really do. Like, nobody got a real plan. Nobody got a real plan. Nobody has put a real plan into action. Just the attempt alone is some real inward shit. You know what I mean? Just the attempt to say, this is what we gonna do to set the people free. This is how we gonna play the cards. And just like AI, just like you were saying earlier, you know, back, you know, years ago, everybody was down for the cause with, you know, we went from Black Power to, you know, Panthers to African chains and medallions, and now we here. But we've been stepped on for so long through so many different generations. I guess it just wearied our community to the point to where don't nobody care. And all we know is abuse. We don't even try to look at the fine point. We don't even step outside of ourselves to say, well, damn. If this certain group of religious or political people got us down, why not fight the power? I remember that. Fight the power. Fight the power. Fight the powers that be. Ooh. Right. I remember that. You know what I mean? Like what happened? We got used to the abuse, and we think it's what's supposed to happen, but it's not, because it's not of God. My personal opinion. You know what I mean? So I just want to say thank you, man. It's riveting to be here right now. It's amazing to see this thing happen. And I truly can't wait for the second coming. I'm excited to see what's next, especially what's going on every single day. Everything. I don't understand. I don't get why people are so blind. I don't get it. Is this what happened when Christ wiped the mud out the guy's eye and he could see again? Is this what happened? Is that what happened? I think that's what happened. I don't know. I ain't, you know what I mean? But I think that's what happened.
There's a lot of dirt we step up on the road, man. You gotta remove that, man. There's too much dirt on the glass. You know, we gotta get that Windex, get it squeaky clean.
Yeah. I could dig it. It used to be honor, man. I don't know. It used to be honor. Individuals used to be able to say, at least admit to the fact when they wrong, even if they didn't want to do right. Yeah, I was wrong about it, but I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. You can't even admit it now. Like, yeah, that sounds good, but fuck that, I ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. It's different, but I applaud you, man. I really do. I applaud you. It's got to be something that's inside of you. You know what I mean? Carrying that cross is a burden. So I just want to tell you, if you don't hear it from average, ordinary individuals outside of your circle, I applaud you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop.
Much respect, brother. Much respect.
Yes, sir.
Y'all, y'all welcome to come up and ask questions. I hope this title don't frighten you. Again, we just showing you the movement that's gonna benefit us, y'all. That's really it, y'all. It might make you uncomfortable at first, but trust me, you will get comfortable. If you think you're comfortable now, wait till you come on this side, the real side. When you come on the other side of that Jordan, it's a whole different view, y'all. And when you, like I said, but again, it might be uncomfortable to come on this side because you might have to leave a lot of stuff behind. And some people are hoarders; they don't like to leave nothing. They just gotta have it with them. They might not ever touch it. They might not ever use it. But since it's in their possession, they feel they have to have it. Information you have to let go to get on this side, y'all. So that's that bitterness and that's that hurt that you might have. But when you realize, damn, you didn't need it. That's when you really get the comfortable and realize how comfortable this side really is. Way more comfortable, y'all. I think I talked to you, Miles Davis. I don't really.
Yeah, he been up here a few times. I think that's the drummer. And it's crazy because when he come up, he always kind of he like one of the on the fence type of cats, so he don't never really be rude or whatever. But in the comments, he be going in.
Go in the comments, huh?
Yeah. Like, damn. You bipolar as hell.
So he a nice man with his lips, but he a gangster with his fingers.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
That's the one that was down there talking about, I was rooting for you, Carl.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, y'all brothers, we might get us an early night tonight. We ain't got no guests. Like I say, I don't even see the norm that hate us. We used to have a little clique of and it's crazy how people really come up here and against us, but watch us every day and don't want us to get off. Soon as we say we finna get off, they hit the button. Please don't leave. Or be in the comments, them nigga fake. They lying. They hurt. Soon we say we finna leave. Don't leave.
Let me up. Let me up. When I see him saying "let me up," I always think about what they must have been doing when Noah closed the doors on the ark and it started raining. Let me up.
Oh shit! I ain't look at it like that. That's a real way to look at it, there, boy. Come on, man. You know I'm just playing, man. Come on, man. That water coming, man. Come on, man. You know I'm just playing, man. Shit, you know how we do it. Let me in, man.
I thought about what you said. I was just about to tell you. Let me up.
My people, man. Hey, y'all, I want to leave y'all with this last scripture where the Father tells Ezekiel, he say, it say, if it says, if I have sent you to another people, they will hear you. But I'm gonna send you to Israel, for they will not hear you, because they won't hearken to me. That's how you know who we are. It's a verse in Ezekiel where it says, Ezekiel 3:5. Yeah, it's in Ezekiel 3. It's in Ezekiel 3. And we'll leave y'all with this if we don't have no serious guests. So unless y'all got something y'all want to bring out. And those are one up here. Ezekiel 3, y'all. Y'all turn there with me and get this gem. We said 3 and 5.
You gonna read it, or you want me to read it?
No, I'm trying to see. We can start at verse. Yeah, we can start at verse 4. We're gonna read from 4 to 8, and this gonna kind of what Gucci Man just said. Like, he got to be something in me, or got to be something, and this basically gonna show you what the Spirit does to God anointed one. You know, it gives them that strength. It gives them that whole battle gear to withstand the stuff that they finna withstand, and that's what this scripture kind of gonna go over. You know, so yeah, we're gonna start at verse 4 and we're gonna read to 8.
All right. Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 4, and it reads, "And he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. For thou art not sent to a people of strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel. Not to many people of a strange speech and hard language, whose words thou cannot understand. Surely had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee."
So it's letting you know, if God would have sent them to the people of what? Strange speech, hard to understand, this message they'll get.
Right.
Israel. And it's been to tell them. I ain't gonna even say it. I'm let my brother man read it. Go, you got it.
All right, so verse 7. "But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted." I don't even know what impudent is. And they impudent and hard-hearted.
Oh, they full of themselves. They full of themselves. And hard-hearted. They don't feel nothing. That's like a rock. When you dash a rock into another rock, the rock don't say ow. The rock and the rock don't feel nothing. So God got to remove that heart of rock and give us what? The heart of flesh. The heart of flesh should have a feeling. You don't feel your brother when he's talking to you? And that's why I kind of respect the brother, man. He totally against us. But the conversation made him be like, well, damn, bro, I'm not going to harden my heart that much. I'm going to soften my heart a little bit. I feel what you're saying. I respected that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that's why, and that's why when you asked him, you know, but do you want to see us win? He was like, yeah.
Yeah.
But he just don't have no understanding. And because he of the house, what is hard? His heart is hard.
Right.
So through conversation, we make it soft.
That's why I asked him that too, because I realize a lot of times it's easy to rebuke people, but when you see them kind of on the fence, it's kind of cool sometimes to let them liberate themselves a little bit.
Got to. As being that bigger person, that's almost like your little brother or something. You got to know your little brother going to try you, but you ain't going to stomp him.
Right.
And then when he try you and he show you heart, you going to respect that.
Yeah.
That's the part of having the love for your brother. So yeah, that's real. Yeah.
So do you want to stop there or you want to keep going?
You can stop. We're going to stop at 9.
Okay. Verse 8. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their forehead. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house.
So they was gonna look at you crazy.
Crazy.
But what did God do? God made everything hard.
Yeah.
So we dashing everything into pieces when we stand up. That's what the Spirit equipped us with. You know, to be that hard, to stand that firm, and nothing will break.
I didn't even know hard-headed came from the Bible. Damn, that boy hard-headed.
Boy, hard-headed. So the house of Israel is what?
Hard-headed.
Hard-headed. Imprudent.
Impudent.
Rebellious.
And hard-headed.
People come up here. Why everybody not getting your message? Shit, have you read the Bible? Hell no. You just been quoting scriptures all your life. You know,
nice ones.
Yeah, they're the good ones, the feel good.
Yeah, the good ones.
Yeah. You know, so. And y'all, the allegory to Ezekiel is the son of man who God shows the new temple to. That's my story. God has showed me the new temple. God has given me the measurements. So I'm the son of man that's being sent out to do these things. That's Ezekiel. That's the third temple. You got Isaiah, you got Jeremiah, then you have Ezekiel. The two major prophets are Isaiah and Jeremiah, and the next one is the son of man who brings in the new temple, the measurements. Who go and prophesize to the false prophets. Prophets, he going to talk to the people who what? Who hearts are hard, stubborn. You know, and but that's the allegory to Ezekiel, if you didn't know. You know, so you know, y'all got some closing statements y'all want to bring out for the people?
I mean, I don't know about closing statement, but I just say, you know, don't be imprudent. Don't be hard-headed, you know, and you know, try to give us an ear. Try to hear us out, you know, lay off the memes. The memes is like alcohol. Y'all just be drunk off memes. Lay off the memes and try to hear us out and give what we saying a chance to resonate, because, you know, like King said, you know, what we doing is to help our people. It's going to help our people. So don't be the one with the shame face in the end, you know, because this is a labor of love, for real.
And I did want to comment on something that my brother said earlier about how this more so an in-house fight. Because right now, if we look around in the world, people hold the highest influence. Like, for example, they help like us in Japan. They love our music. Our athletes are some of the best. We hold the highest stature when it comes to, you know, certain trends. But we got to get in order. Like, just imagine right now, if these other countries that already try to be like us, they see our people stop fighting one another. They see we now getting in order. You know, trying to actually stand up for something that's right instead of just fighting with each other. So that's why we got to understand in the last days, Christ was going to come and bring us back to the remembrance of where we come from. You know, to establish order amongst the people. You know, to be in that God-like, you know, state of mind. So I just want to read one verse real quick just to show you, and I did read it earlier, but I'm going to reread it. It's John 14:26. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance. So if Christ will be coming in the last days to bring things to our remembrance, well, we forgot. We forgot about the true ways of God. Since our forefathers fell, now it's time for us to build it back up. Well, we got to first start fighting one another and come together. So y'all go check out that website. You know, it's a petition to judge. It's a petition to start a government for our people. First, we must come together. The true power is in the people. So this is a redemption song. We gotta unify so the people will be redeemed. But y'all start off with that website and check out what we doing. We don't just come on here every night and say y'all Jewish Christ. Y'all Jew got real works and also real testimonies. Don't the witnesses matter? But God gave every man free will. It's up to you to go check it out now.
And y'all know what we say. Without no witnesses, you can't be convicted. So the world has been convicted because the witnesses are standing up. And with that being said, y'all, we hope the Father has circumcised y'all hearts and ears for the message. Peace and blessings. And we out. All right, brothers. Next time.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.